Welcome into the Chemistry Podcast, episode number 281, fueled by First Form, baby.
Yoink! You like that?
Well, finally.
I'm not fucking around today.
Yeah, Cam's been lacking energy the last couple of weeks.
Shit.
I had to call a emergency podcast meeting because I am officially Cam. Cam works for me,
Yeah.
and I had to bring him in to let him know, hey, listen, you gotta let's elevate.
I know you need my energy, baby.
The key word this week is elevate.
Elevate me. There's a new member of the Jansen household, and no, Kate's not pregnant. My sperm doesn't work. We've established that a long time ago.
I don't know if you gotta get some.
It doesn't.
No, there's people that can help you with that.
Yeah, I know, but it just doesn't. So we're not going to go that route.
Well, don't
so we're just
just
chilling.
quit.
So anyway, my dad got a new puppy. It's actually a 4-year-old dog, to be honest with you.
4-year-old dog? That's not a puppy.
It's not a puppy, but I always call even 4 years old they're still young. But he got a golden doodle, and I know I chirp golden doodles because Andy, of course, goes with the flow, and everybody gets golden doodle. But my dad didn't pick it out. It's my aunt's dog, or my cousin's dog, who has 5 kids. The dog's in the way, knocking down the kids and stuff like that. It's a big golden doodle, and so my aunt called my dad and said, "Hey, check this dog out. We got to get rid of it. Our house is crazy." And so my dad saw it. It's a good walker. It's disciplined. He can go outside and piss and do his thing, and there's not much craziness that comes with a puppy.
Okay.
So my dad's happy, man.
So your aunt is giving the dog away.
It's
Listen,
my cousin.
I knew there was
Yeah.
more to the story.
Yeah.
So it's a 4-year-old golden doodle.
Yeah, it's so cute. Bear Jansen. I know.
That's the dog's name.
Yeah.
Bear.
Bear.
Oh, they're good dogs.
Yeah, they're damn good dogs.
But I don't know how it's going to react to being around a new environment.
Well, it's going to have to react. But my dad walks it. That's all he does is he's committed to the dog, man. And Tucky's just not doing good. I'm going to have
does he have another dog still?
Yeah, Tuck's still there, but Andy, it's really bad.
If Tuck hurts this dog,
Tuck
if
can't
Tuck
even move.
hurts Bear,
He can't move.
we're going to have some issues here.
He's not.
Golden doodles.
I'm going to have to take care of business. And we all know when you have a dog, when you have dogs your whole life, when it's time to take it to the.
Well, it's time, and then you wait a few more months. But
he's
know
struggling.
it. You know it.
My dad doesn't want to let go of Tucky, but at this point now, they has a new doggy. He can go cruise around and walk every single day at the park. Listen to our podcast. That's his whole life.
Yeah.
So now he's got another companion. But I'm gonna.
How's Bear doing on the leash?
He's really good.
Does it walk okay?
He's a really good walker.
I got some issues.
Those dogs are disciplined, man. Listen, I chirp about all y'all with the golden doodle. Like Andy gets a golden doodle because the people at Creve Coeur Racket Club have one, and he's that herd mentality. Like, if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But this kind of fell into my dad's lap. He wanted a pit bull, but he's got a golden doodle.
He wanted a pit bull.
He wanted the rescue one.
Yeah,
we like to rescue dogs.
I mean, it's a good thing. Well, okay, there's
we
nothing
like
wrong with
dogs.
that.
We've always done our whole life.
Do you think you rescued Bear? Like, did Bear need to be rescued?
Hell no. Bear probably cost $2,000. I don't know how much.
I can't believe your cousin's doing this to their kids.
Why? They live right next to each
other. Could you imagine if I went home today and I said to Chloe, little Ivy and Ty, and I said, "Hey, listen, we're giving away Blay.
Yeah, it's not good.
We're just giving him away. Like, he's not going to be here anymore." They'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
I don't know if the kids are like they have their own thing going, and I don't think.
How old are the kids?
Young, they're getting knocked over.
Yeah,
like they're getting knocked over by this dog. Like, you can't have that.
This is not the golden doodle that I'm used to hearing about. I need to meet this dog.
It's huge.
Yeah, how big?
It's a big dog.
60.
No, I think it's heavier than that. I think it's 70 pounds.
Yeah,
it's a big dog. It's a big golden doodle.
I'll bring Blay over and get some feedback from him as to
what don't bring over dogs to random people's houses. That's a Hoosier ass move. No.
I used to do it all the time.
That's a Hoosier move. If you're gonna go over to somebody's house unannounced or invited, you better let them know that you're bringing the dog over. Some houses aren't fit to have somebody else's dog come over. They might have a cat. They might have shit laying around that the dog's going to get into. Don't be a Hoosier and bring dogs over to other people's houses unannounced. That's all.
Yeah.
No big deal.
And I used to do that all the time. I used to bring my dog with me.
I know you did.
The dog went with me everywhere. My hip flexor, Cam. I've got some serious... I'm dealing with a significant injury. I've been sick. I was sick last week. If you remember, I had the sniffles going on and whatever. Maddie's now got it. I didn't give it to him just so, but he's sick. It's been going around. Everyone's getting sick nowadays. But this injury I have, it's my IT band. I don't know if you ever had an injury like this where it's going down into the to the knee area. And I think it's from these shoes that I was walking in yesterday. I did a lot of walking over the weekend with Belay, and beautiful weather here. And these Nike shoes, man, the more they cost, the worse they are for your feet and your hips. Years of playing hockey, grinding down that hip flexor, man, is just catching up with me.
Isn't that something? We got Kelly Chase on this episode. All the shit that he's going through right now. All the stuff he's going through. And Andy starts off with talking about how sick he is and his hip flexor hurts from walking around in expensive Nikes. Get on with yourself. Unrelatable.
Why are you gonna?
Unrelatable.
Why are you gonna try to?
You started it.
Why are you
though.
gonna make me feel like that?
You started it.
You can't.
You always come in and bitch about something.
Make that comparison.
You come in and bitch about, I got my finger hurts or my hip flexor hurts or I'm sick. I got sniffles. Like, no one gives a fuck.
You can't make that comparison.
No one cares. Like, we're all sick, man. Everybody's fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids, you're sick. You got this, everybody's got their problems. When Andy likes to come in here and vent their petty issues.
Dude.
Petty as fuck.
I was in pain just trying to sleep though last night, man. You got to understand, like, you know what that pain feels like, dude. It's legit.
Oh, I don't. And tell me about that. I mean,
hey,
come on,
but Chaser is on this edition.
Chaser is,
dude.
man.
And we had a great conversation. People need to buckle up, relax, and give yourself time. Find like a chill spot.
Yeah.
A chill zone.
He goes on for a long time, man. Like Andy and I didn't even, we let him just go.
Yeah.
We had him on probably longer than anybody else, but we didn't talk much.
No.
He just did his thing.
Mhm.
He knows what he's doing. He came on here.
It was the
and he goes.
opposite of the Grant Fuhrer interview.
Oh my God. If you guys know, like we struggled through that. We love Fierzy, but Andy and I are looking at each other like rapid fire questions, man. Boom, boom. Because he had 2-word answers sometimes.
Good.
So playing in the 80s, how was that? Yeah,
it was
good.
fun. I loved it.
On to the next. Like Andy had to jump in there. Then I have to jump in there and Andy. But Chaser, he sat here and he talked to us for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going through a lot of stuff. Although he looked good.
Yeah, he did.
He looked really good. He put on more weight.
Yeah.
He said he could still kick your ass, which is probably true.
Well, you never know.
But he was still hooked up with all his
He
stuff.
said he could take you too, dude. So
No.
don't just make it all about me.
He said he couldn't take you.
He
Well,
said,
you just watch
he said
the pod.
he could always take you.
You'll listen to
actually.
the interview.
You think you could take him in your prime versus his prime?
We would have had an unbelievable fight.
Really?
Yeah. We would have gone for 3 minutes, throwing both hands,
Mm-hmm.
and jerseys would have came off, shit kicked each other.
Twister
Awesome.
would dust.
Twister,
you.
I'm not going to fuck with. Well, I would have fought him, but Twister was 275. Twister would grab you, and I talked about this on the pod with Chaser. Everybody knows the race for Chase, but when you fight Twister, it's like riding a bull. It's 8 seconds, and you better hold on.
Yeah.
And he's going to swing you around.
But it wasn't
and you
always
better
like
not
that,
catch
was
him.
it?
What do you mean?
Like if you watch some of his earlier day fights,
Yeah.
like when he was playing in Quebec and stuff like that. I feel like when he came to St. Louis,
He put on
the
more weight.
last few years of his career, it was like, remember that game at the arcade where you're just like the little heads pop up and you just like, use the hammer to
Yeah. Like the donkey punch
Yeah,
thing.
donkey
I know
punch.
what you mean.
That's how he
That's
how he would like fight guys. Like he would just basically pummel them into the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With like 3 or 4 fights or 3 or 4 punches and it was over.
Well, that's who he'd
and the
do.
guy he was fighting had no chance. Let me ask you this. Some of the heavyweights that were around when you were playing, the LaRocques, the McGrattons, Boogards, Colton Orr, who would hold the best chance against Twister? Like, how would he do?
That's a good question.
Among all those
LaRocque,
players.
Well, he fought LaRocque. LaRocque
Yeah, he
handled
did.
him pretty good.
He did early in LaRocque's.
Remember, Twister had those
career, yeah.
vapors on. They were
Yeah.
right next to the glass. I seen every one of them.
Mhm.
And LaRocque was really big. LaRocque was 270 at that time, and he was a lefty. Twister kind of struggled with LaRocque. Twister might have struggled with prime Boogaard, not early Boogaard when he was in the minors, which we talked about. He looked kind of like Rempe, kind of off balance.
What would he do to Rempe?
Piss pump him. Rempe looked awesome the other day against the Blues. We'll get to that in a second. But onto your, dude, he had an awesome game. On to your question though, Boogaard, he might have trouble with. I bet you McGrattan wouldn't get thrown around that much. I don't know. That's a good question, man.
Yeah.
Listen, he's 270 and he was strong as a bull.
Yeah.
He might have got those guys off balance and swung them around, but
Among the hardest punchers, though, dude.
he'll break your skull.
He will.
He broke Rob Ray's
And
skull.
he's already has an advantage before the fight even starts because he's intimidating as
big
shit.
Big time. But he fucked up Rob Ray. I think it was 94.
Broke his orbital.
In Kiel Center at the time. And they're off the bat, like going, okay, what hitting each other? And then they started going, and Razor kind of caught him. And then Twister just got loose. And there's boom and boom.
Broke
and you could
his
just tell
face, yeah.
Rob Ray, like, he didn't get knocked out because he's got a skull thick as concrete. But you could tell in the penalty box, his eyes like this. He takes all his shit off, and you could tell his eyes is sagging down. His whole orbital bones is sagging down. That fucks you up so bad. When your orbital bone breaks like that, man, your face doesn't look the same ever again.
I've been around Rob Ray a lot over the years. You know, like he is put together pretty good. Like he's a strong guy. You know what I'm saying?
He's bigger than you think.
Bigger than you think.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Chaser, is bigger than you think sometimes too. Like, I mean, they kind of they have that big back muscles, you know what I'm saying? They're built similarly, I will say.
I think
that.
Razor's bigger than Chaser. I think
Maybe.
I was bigger than Chaser when he was at his biggest, even when I played. I played at like 215. I don't know if Chaser was 215.
he didn't play at 215.
Yeah, I played
He
at
may
215.
not even played at 200. He was right around 200.
He wasn't that big.
No.
Chaser wasn't that big. But if you watch his fights, dude, he was so smart. He's a smart guy, and he knows it. But Chaser would fight guys, man, and he knew how to duck punches. He knew how to switch quick. He knew how to do this. I watched him when I was young, dude. That's how I got into hockey, watching Chaser and Twister. We've talked about this a million times. Chaser he helped me out before when I first started playing in juniors. He knew about me. He'd call me, talk to me.
Really?
I knew him right when I started playing in Windsor, man. He's like, who's this Eureka kid? Fucking shit kicking guys. Now he's up in the OHL. I remember him helping me out, guiding me and stuff like that. Really did.
Like in what way?
Just like, here, this is what you need to do. Hey, da-da-da-da. I like what you're saying. Hey, you have a chance, blah, 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 blah. Like, just shit like that, pumping my tires up. So, I owe a lot to him, man.
He's done that for a lot of
guys.
players.
That's why he had so much. Dude, he's in the hospital, man. He's got fucking Lance Armstrong calling him. He's got just people giving him so much, attention. And, hey, you had in the hospital, like, there's a fucking line up out the door just to see him. You know what I mean? And
he tells a great story how his son basically like kicked everybody out. Like,
yeah, it's like too much.
Yeah, too much.
Imagine like when you're real. I know my worst when I was withdrawing off hardcore fucking drugs, and you're sitting there like, that's probably like kind of the same feeling in a way. Hell on earth. The last thing I would want is to even see anybody. Like I just want to like shut the door, turn the fucking lights off, shut the windows, and just curl up.
You never
in
know,
a
man.
fetal
Sometimes
position.
it makes you feel good to see people too.
I know, but when you just don't. You don't look good, like I don't know. It's just tough, man. It's tough, but he's a fucking trooper, dude.
So you thought Rempe had a great game the other day?
I thought he had an awesome
He was
game.
skating around. He was like around the puck and
around the puck. He had the puck all the fucking time. He scored a goddamn goal. It just missed. Just missed over.
It probably crossed.
Every time I saw him, he's either hitting a guy, the
Or
crowd.
guys like running away from him.
They're
You
scared.
see Justin Falk in the corner? Did
They're
you
scared
see
to
that
death.
play?
Yes. They're scared
And
to
Falk
death
is
of him.
not 100% right now.
Yeah, he looked bad.
And he's looked bad game in and game out. And there's no way this guy is even close to being 100%. He's been hurt. He's been in and out of the lineup. Has not looked the same.
But Rempe, though.
But Rempe was coming from distance again
Hitting
to the
guys.
corner. Dude.
No, he's fast, dude. I finally watched every movie made in a game.
Yeah.
He had the puck all the time. He's shooting everything. He gets around. He's making moves. He's scaring the shit out of people. He's gonna go in for a hit, and the guys are just like, let him go.
Hey,
and he takes the puck and makes a
Who
play.
was the most competitive player the Blues had going against him? Who was giving it back to him every time? And
Parayko?
No, after the whistle once, he kind of.
I didn't. Sonny?
No.
Who?
Torrey Krug.
Okay.
During play.
Okay.
Like he's running them and stuff. He's the smallest guy on the ice.
Give him a shout out, Dan.
And I'll give Torrey Krug. This is what Torrey Krug does, and he's been playing better as of late. And I'll never take this away from Torrey Krug, man. And the people in Boston, all y'all know this anyway.
He plays tough.
He's a competitive motherfucker.
He does. Yeah,
and that's why this guy has played as long as he has, given his size and lack thereof. And, obviously he's good with the puck and he can quarterback a power play and he can move the puck. But listen, he's got that competitiveness, man, where he doesn't back down. He's not a threat to Matt Rempe physically. I know that. But I'll give him credit, man. He's the smallest guy on the ice and he's like going right at him.
I like that.
Like, not reacting to Rempe. He's just going at him when Rempe's around. He's like, fuck you. You're 21 years old, man. I'm just going to run you. What are you going to do? You're not going to beat me up.
Well, yeah, he is. I mean, he can.
I know. Well, he can.
He can. If he wanted to grab you and spin you around
guess he
and
could,
fucking
yeah.
put you in the,
Sure.
the 8-second twister, bull ride.
Yeah.
But Rempe was very effective without fighting. And that's exactly what me and you talked about. Like, you got to be effective, and he is. Dude, I'm excited about these playoffs, man. There's some badass teams. A lot of teams went all in. Guys are going to be disappointed. Well, somebody's going to be disappointed one way. A lot of teams are. But I feel like, and I know maybe the fight numbers are down, but I feel like these games are just getting fucking intense,
Yeah,
dude.
well, it was like that last year in the playoffs.
I
It
just feel like
always is in the playoffs.
there's just a new, fuck you attitude. And it's kind of back a little bit, and I can't wait for these playoffs.
All these players around the league, they see Rempe coming in,
They're like,
fighting
"What's
4
up?"
times in the first 8 games,
attention.
and he's just getting a shit ton of attention.
He's getting a ton of attention.
So
man.
you want to get attention, like you either fight him or just go out and fight somebody else. Be the man.
Be
Go
the
out
man.
there and create attention for yourself. It's not Rempe has proven that it's really not that
They're
difficult.
chanting
to
his
do.
name. during the play.
in MSG.
Dude, he is, every time he was on the ice, you could tell everybody's like, what's he going to
They
do?
put him on the power play at the end of the game, and the game was obviously out of
He's
hand.
going to be a
but they put him on the
force
power
in the
play.
playoffs. I hope the
You
Rangers.
think?
Yes. They're gonna,
I wouldn't go
he's
that
going to
far.
crush guys.
I wouldn't
dude.
go that far.
The way he was handling the puck, the way he was getting shots off, the way he was just like intimidating everybody during a regular season game. Now, the Blues are sleeping, and they have no counter to him by any stretch of imagination. They're checked the fuck out. But I'm just like, cool. We were wondering, we asked that question, how is he with the puck and all that stuff. We finally got to see him throughout the whole game. He impressed the shit out of me. That's all.
I don't know what Peter Laviolette's trust level will be in the playoffs.
That could be a different story. You start turning the puck over all the time, but he didn't do it in that game.
Is he going to be nervous on that stage? I mean, the
Doesn't
pace
seem
of
like it.
play is going to be so fast. Everyone's hitting.
Everybody's hitting.
And you can't take stupid penalties
Hell
in
no.
the playoffs.
You get a 5-minute major because your elbows are high from being 6'9" or 7.
Now, if you've got to send a message late in a game or whatever, obviously without getting fined, and that you hope will maybe carry over into the next game, I don't know. I guess you throw him out there. But, I'll be interested to see how he is utilized more than how he performs, come playoff time.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Our boy Patty Maroon goes to Boston. I know he's still dinged up a little bit.
I was texting with him when it went down. It's kind of funny.
Could get 4 Stanley Cups.
He could, although Boston's not
pretty-
playing well right now, and I don't see Boston winning the Stanley Cup.
Okay, but they have the talent to do so. They have the goaltending to
Do
do
they?
so.
Do they?
I think so.
People look at the roster and they say, "How is this team so good?" Pasta's got 40 goals now on the year. Obviously, an elite player. Marchand's an elite player. I think he's going for his 400th goal now tonight
Pretty good.
in his career. He's had an unbelievable run. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Was he got 800 points maybe somewhere on there? You think? So if he goes, does he get 1,000? He's got to probably get 1,000 points, right? He's probably got a lot of penalty minutes.
He's got a cup.
He's got a cup. He's fantastic in the playoffs. He's got highlights out the ass. I don't know what that means. How's his hardware? What does he want?
He's loud, man.
He's loud as shit. I'd put him in there. I say that Brad Marchand has been so effective in this sport. Maybe the numbers aren't there, but just his game overall.
He's at over 900 points.
Fuck that. He's a Hall of Famer in
And
my
over
book.
1,000 games.
He's
now.
a Hall of Famer in my book.
And he's got a long way to go, man.
He still
not-
does.
He's one of those guys that'll just keep playing and playing and playing.
He comes up big at the big moments too.
Yeah.
You got Conor McGregor watching him. Like he's going to score an OT. He's going to do his shit. Man, the NHL's glad that they have a guy like him. I remember watching the Maple Leafs played. Who they play the other night? They got a kid. I guess they just traded for DeWar.
Oh,
Is-
good defensive forward.
is-
Yeah.
Is he a young kid?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's on the big stage.
Mhm.
I mean, I've never really heard of the kid. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
You're going to break him down for us?
No, but
No,
he's doing an
how's
interview.
how's
No,
his
don't know.
skating and his puck handling?
Don't know. Don't care until I watch him. But he goes and has an interview before the game. I think it's Hockey Night in Canada. And he's giving Grant Fuhr one-word answers.
Oh, God.
And I'm just like, come on, man. Like, you guys, quit being boring. You don't have to say that, talk about Israel, Palestine, but be like, hell yeah, I'm excited, let's go. They're, hey kid, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I'm a robot. I'm going to laugh now.
Connor Dewar is who you're talking about.
Be excited. The camera's on you, baby. I know it's petty and shit like that, but nothing worse than just like a kid that doesn't look excited before like one of the biggest games ever. You get the biggest trade, you're on the spotlight.
So what's it like playing here tonight?
Everything is good. Ha, ha, ha. I'm a robot. Like, come on. We chirp that a lot.
We get a lot of those.
We get a lot of that.
A lot of those.
It's not.
The robots, man.
Like, you have to be controversial, but like, hockey fans want to hear from you.
You're like,
talk.
I'm ready to go.
Let's go. I can't wait. This is awesome, man. The Maple Leafs, I've been watching this team my whole growing up when I was a kid. Like, blah, 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 blah.
You know who's got some of
I
that?
like hockey.
You know who's good?
Yeah.
Is Rempe.
Yeah, he's great.
He's just like funny and just
humble.
Humble.
I like that. He's not cocky.
No, but
like I like that, man.
Yeah, but he's just like loving the ride.
He's
man.
like, no,
just doing his thing.
Yeah, totally. Got a smile on his face. He got 2 black eyes. He's always smiling.
Yeah.
After whistles, he's smiling. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, dude, he's fun to watch.
He knows he's getting a shit ton of attention.
Yeah. What else about the trade deadline?
Well, Vegas, man, listen, and I've chirped Vegas a lot in the past because, they want everybody. They view every
I don't mind
player
it.
as their own little shiny toy of Christmas that every
what they
7,
are.
8-year-old kid has to have.
That's what they are.
But they do it within the rules. Everyone's complaining about this. Like, they're not doing anything illegal.
No.
They're not doing anything they haven't been doing now for several years. I mean, hey, players get hurt. Listen, they got an owner that is 1,000% all in. He'll spend as much money as he has to win. And that's what you want as a fan, man. You want an owner and an organization that's committed to winning. And that's what you have in Vegas. Whether you like how they go about it or not, whether you believe guys are hurt or not, listen, they'll do all the long-term, IR stuff, whatever. And, they bring on, obviously Tomas Hertl. He's got 6 years left on his contract. Now, this may be the one deal where you say, okay, they bit off a little more than they could chew. And I'm not so sure this is going to be the best deal for Vegas. I don't blame San Jose whatsoever. They got rid of a 30-year-old with 6 years left in his contract. They're terrible. He's always hurt.
He is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's not a true number one center anyway. He's making money. They had to retain $17 million. The cap's going to be at $100 million by the time this deal's over anyway. So I know they can only retain money on 3 contracts per year, so they used all their allotted slots, and they're going to eat that up for a couple of years. They got Carlson, obviously, and some other contracts that they're eating up, man. But 17%, they got another first-round pick. It is what it is. They got rid of the contract of a 30-year-old who's got 6 years left on his deal. I don't know how this is going to look for Vegas. He's hurt now. You hope if you're Vegas that he comes back and he's able to help you, but I don't see this being like a Jack Eichel or a Mark Stone situation or Petro or some of these big dogs they brought into the fold the last couple of years.
Well, it's an easy fix with this whole contract situation. Like if you want to put a guy on long-term IR, maybe just implement, he can't play until a certain amount of games, or maybe some of the cap money doesn't come off the books. There's a billion ways to change it. Doesn't bother me. You still got to make the damn playoffs. They're still in the grind. Teams could still catch them. They've been struggling.
Landeskog may come back
bitching.
For Colorado.
Yeah.
He may come back. You saw Kucherov obviously a few years back. Chicago did this with Patrick Kane several years ago. They had a first-round matchup against St. Louis where he came back, and they ended up winning the first-round series against the Blues. So teams have been doing this for a long time. But again, they've got an owner that does not give a shit.
No.
He'll spend as much money. He doesn't care. There's no limit to how much money he'll spend when it comes to trying to win.
I like that.
They get Noah Hannafin too, man.
I know.
So
handsome bugger.
Dude, they just go for it, and now their defense is primed to make another run. They've been struggling though. They're gonna have to start winning some games here now.
They're struggling. That's why
they're in a wild card spot.
You could put your star players on long term, but you still got to make the playoffs without them.
Although
people are bitching about that, they'll change the rules eventually.
Oh, probably. But maybe not. Who knows, man? These owners have a lot of power too. They have a lot to say. So Bill Foley, man. Listen, I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
And even Kelly McCrimmon, man. He's been on the show too.
Yep.
We've had McCrimmon on. We've had Bill Foley on.
Damn right we have.
And I asked Kelly McCrimmon all about this. You know what I'm saying? And he just wants to win. And so he's been given as many resources and as much power as any GM in the league to go out and get the best players they can get. Whether or not players fake injuries, this guy's got a ruptured spleen, so I would think that would be difficult to fake.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got no spleen, Gene.
So I don't know if he's faking this one, but whatever. He got hurt, and they take advantage of the opened up cap space, man. They go out and get good players.
They didn't make the rules. Change the rules.
If you're a player inside that dressing room. Now, some people say, well, it's going to disrupt the chemistry and it's going to move guys down the lineup and whatever. Maybe.
It might.
That's
We've seen that with the Rangers with Kaner and Vladdy. A little shout out to Vladimir Tarasenko. Got a couple the other night.
Yeah.
His first.
Listen,
cool.
Now Florida, Bill Zito's done a lot of things right with the Florida Panthers. The one thing that he has messed up in the past was at the trade deadline. Making that deal for Claude Giroux a couple years ago, I thought that disrupted their chemistry.
Maybe.
But again, it's Claude Giroux. He was a big-time name, big-time player. They were going to go for it. So he's aggressive too. Just on the surface, a guy like Tarasenko and Kyle Okposo, man, we'll see how he fits in. He's a depth player. He hasn't played a big game or a meaningful game in 10 years.
I don't know what to think about that.
So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Tarasenko, can he play consistently with the mentality that Florida shows night in and night out? Now, I will say this. Tarasenko's gotten away from that the last couple of years. But if you go back and watch vintage Vladimir Tarasenko to, when the Blues won the Cup in 2019, even before that, this guy was in the mix after whistles all the time. He wasn't shying away from that all the time. He can play that way. He can have some fire underneath him. And this is a great opportunity for him. Listen, he misplayed his cards. He's been firing agents left and right.
Yep.
He got humbled when he went to New York, where they weren't bending over backwards for every. It wasn't all about Vladdy, where they were catering to every need for Vladimir Tarasenko. They're like, no, we got Panarin here. We got Adam Fox.
We got our own big
Kreider.
dogs. Yep.
Oh, by the way, we also are bringing in Patrick Kane. So you're just a guy here that we hope is going to help us win. So he couldn't get a contract that he wanted in the offseason, had to go to Ottawa. So that's got to humble you. Couldn't even be the guy in Ottawa because they have their young nucleus of young players. And they got their own issues there in Ottawa. But he finally got what he wanted, which was to get to Florida, which is where he wanted to go last year anyway.
Of course.
Unlikely he stays there beyond this year because of their cap situation. They got to sign Reinhart. Montour still needs to get signed. So we'll see what happens long-term with Tarasenko. But he's going to a great team, and he's not going to go there and create any issues personality-wise.
Let's go play, dude.
He's just going to go out there and play. And to have 2 goals and an assist the other night, man, it's a great way to introduce yourself
Go play,
to the
dude.
team.
You're in sunny Florida. That's where all you Russians want to be anyway.
Yeah.
You do. You love Florida. You love New York, especially Florida, though. He's in a great spot, man. I like that Florida Panthers team. I do.
I didn't think he. I was like, is this guy a great fit? You know what I'm saying?
Don't disrupt the locker room.
I'm
Just go
looking at
fucking play.
Colorado-
Maddie's in charge.
Right. I'm
You
looking
listen
at
to him.
Colorado bringing in some of these feisty players like
Yeah.
Duhaime and some of these guys. Like, I like those type of acquisitions when you bring in guys
Like a
that
role
just
player.
play balls to
Yeah.
the wall, role players.
Hardcore playoff role player.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what you're going to get from those type of
I
players.
get that.
You know what I'm
I mean?
saying?
Yeah, I do.
I think Colorado did a good job at the trade deadline. With some
Who
of
else
those.
do you think did a good job on the trade deadline?
Um,
Carolina? Get Cootsie?
Carolina, yeah,
Hey,
man.
man,
You get-
watch him in the playoffs. That motherfucker was
Yeah.
he did a lot in that when they won in 17. What do you have, like 25
18,
points?
yeah.
18, sorry.
Yeah.
25 points.
Yeah,
And
it's a long time ago, but yeah, he's got
Right.
some issues, right?
yeah, he did.
He's got
I'd
another
take a
year
ch-
left on
I'd
his
take a chance
deal.
on that.
I would take a chance.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, listen, Carolina,
You better do something.
they've been going about their business the way they choose to, obviously, but it hasn't gotten them over the hump. Like, their window to win
It's now, dude.
is now. They've got some pending free agents. Brady Shea, Pesci, their head coach.
Yeah.
Who knows what this team is going to look like? And they haven't been heavily involved in the rental market in the past. And now, you get a guy like Jake Gensel. This is not a Carolina type move we've seen from them in the
No.
past. But I think the owner, Tommy Dundon, what's up?
Big Tommy, friend of the show.
He's probably saying, we have to change our philosophy a little bit,
Yep.
and we've got to go for it.
It didn't work.
And they didn't even have to even give up a first-round pick. I mean, Doobie doesn't even get a first-rounder unless Carolina gets to the
That's
Stanley Cup final. So you get a second-round pick. They give up
People are chirping.
Michael
Doobie.
Bunting, a couple of prospects. But I think Doobie kind of put himself in a little bit of
I
a
know.
bad spot by basically making the decision that, hey, we're going to move Gensel. And he couldn't not move him.
I know.
He would have looked even worse. Dude, he's got a hell of a job ahead of him, man. I think they gave him a 7-year deal. I think he's making $7 million a
is.
year. We're going to find out what Doobie's all about,
yeah.
over the course of this next, 3, 4, 5 years in Pittsburgh. Can he truly turn this thing around, man? He is handcuffed. I mean, you've got the personalities, the names. It is going to be difficult to truly get that program moving in the right direction, to get them younger and to truly
Who do you want?
build that organization back up to prominence, based on the age and the contracts and everything else they're dealing with there.
Who do you want? Who do you want to see in the East? Do you want to see fucking Islanders get in with Patrick Wall?
Islanders don't do it for me.
Okay. Boring.
Just don't excite me.
They're playing pretty damn good.
No,
right
they
now.
are.
They're playing pretty
But
damn
Detroit
good.
doesn't do it for me either.
They
so-
don't do it. Well, they're losing
so-
games.
I know. So
What about Philly and Torts? Torts was awesome the other day, but
Yeah.
we love him. Try to get his ass on, please.
I know. Well,
He ain't doing it now, but
attaboy Torts.
fuck yeah. You're not kicking me out.
Right.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. They got embarrassed. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny.
They were getting
shit kicked.
pummeled early, and you know
Yes.
what? I mean, these referees are throwing out unsportsmanlike penalties and all this
Macaulay,
bullshit.
Wes loves
Wes
himself.
Macaulay. You know who likes Wes Macaulay?
Wes.
Wes Macaulay. Is there a bigger ego in hockey right now than Wes Macaulay? And back in the day, even when I was a kid watching the NHL, I knew the names of probably at least 10 referees.
Andy Van Hellemond.
Knew all of
Awesome.
them, dude.
But he was cool with the guys,
Yeah,
man.
Kerry Fraser, all
Kerry
these
Fraser
guys.
was
man.
awesome with the guys.
Mick Magoo. I mean, you can
Mickey
go
Magoo.
on and on. You don't know any of these guys now. He's the only one you know. This
Yeah.
guy won't even skate over to the bench to talk to him, which is what John Tortorella was waiting for.
Yeah.
Probably would have left the bench several minutes sooner
Of course.
if he comes over there. Just you're going to kick this guy out and then not even skate over there. Listen, man, and Torts has an ego too. And let me just say this. Part of me, I will admit, when I saw this, Cam, part of me was thinking, okay, is Torts, does he know he's on the big stage and with all of his former players in the building celebrating the 2004 Stanley Cup, all the Tampa Bay, players being there? He knows that. Is this calculated? Is he putting on a show for anybody?
Calculated. Do you think he thought he was going to be down by
No.
4? And
No,
however,
but you know what I mean?
No, but he knows all that
But
is there.
then I look at it and I'm like, no, I think he's going to bat for his
He's
players.
fucking pissed.
And he's going to bat for his team,
Yeah.
and he's fucking pissed. And you got this egomaniac, referee who truly probably believes that people buy tickets to go watch him
He's
ref.
out of his fucking
Okay?
mind if that's the case.
He's thinking,
Not even your family.
He's thinking, well, tonight it's the Flyers versus the Lightning,
But they want to
refereed by Wes McCauley.
Yeah.
It's on the ticket.
Listen, I've said this a million times, man. No one goes there to watch the refs. Not even, and I love people. Not even your family.
Mm-hmm.
They're watching the players. Your kids.
Not even your family.
Your kids are going there watching the players. Calm down. It's like fucking Angel
We
Hernandez.
used to know the names of the linesmen back in the day too.
Because they're all cool.
yeah.
I never had a problem really with any ref. Everybody's pretty nice, pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool, and they knew their position. They weren't like,
But
it's about me.
You're throwing out a veteran coach who's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And listen, I kind of like it. I wish more coaches would get the
So
boot
do I.
and get thrown out.
Yeah.
It makes it fun,
That's when the game's over at that point. I mean,
you know?
you don't have it.
But in baseball, the manager gets tossed because the manager and the umpire are going toe to toe, and then he throws him out. He doesn't even skate over to the bench. Take whatever he's going to give to you, give it back
He
to
earned
him,
it.
and tell him he's got to go.
Wes, defend yourself to him.
Do you agree with the 2-game suspension? I mean, you feel like the league has to do that?
Yeah, I mean, if the coach isn't gonna
He's not going to leave the bench for 5 minutes.
I like it, but if that happens all the time,
Yeah.
it's just chaotic. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But Wes, just calm down,
down.
man,
It's not
a
about
little
you.
bit. I know you get excited when the microphone's on and everyone gives
2
you a lot
minutes
of
for
attention.
tripping.
It was cool the first couple times.
It's whatever. Again, it doesn't move the needle.
No, it
The
does
players move the needle, not the refs.
not. I never even know who the referee is until the puck.
And that's
drops.
how it should be. You should never even think about the ref.
Yeah, I'm not going.
That's
to
when
the,
you know the ref did a good job is when no one talks about him.
Yeah, but I'm not going to the game wondering who's officiating.
Do you think
that
if you
night.
took Ty to a hockey game and Wes McCauley went, da-da, do you think Ty's like, God, I want to go back because
Can
of Wes
I get
McCauley?
a McCauley jersey?
I like Wes.
I want a
I-
Wes McCauley
We have
jersey.
to. Who's playing tonight? I don't care. Who are the refs? Daddy, who are the refs?
Wow.
Hey, honey, Ty, Sid's in town. I don't care. I want
wanna
to
go
see
see-
Wes
is
McCauley.
Wes here?
Is Wes
Can we
reffing?
find out what day Wes is coming? What game is Wes coming?
Figure it
this
out.
year?
Figure it out. You're there to do a job and to be
You wanna
quiet,
go
and no one
see-
should talk about you.
You want to go see Bedard? No.
I don't care. I like this ref. I like the way he puts his hand up.
Throwing out torts. Hey,
the
I don't
fuck
mind
outta
you
here.
throwing out torts, but
No, he deserved to get thrown out. Whatever.
go
He's fucking
talk to him.
chirping. But go fucking talk to him. Guy's been in the league a long time. He's a champion. Probably gonna be a Hall of Famer.
you see the reaction from all the Lightning players, though.
They're laughing their
they're
ass
laughing
off.
their
Hell
ass
yeah, dude. They know what's up. You know what I mean? I like torts. I do. And you know who else likes torts? Every fucking guy we interview.
Mm-hmm.
Every guy we interview that's played for him, they like him. They're like, fuck, he's hardcore. Training camps are miserable.
Yeah.
But damn, I respect the shit out of that
Yeah.
man.
And listen, I don't mean to be too hard on Wes because I think he's,
It's all good.
by all accounts, a good referee.
Yeah.
You know,
Probably a good
people
dude.
say he's a good referee,
probably a good
but
dude.
he just requires so much attention.
Yeah.
It's getting to be a little much. Like in this situation, he did not come out looking good in this situation.
No.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's
you
on
want to have fun
Torts'
with the
side.
mic and say "fight for fighting."
Rawr.
You want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
People may laugh and chuckle. You may get your 2 seconds of fame on NHL Network,
Not moving the
on
needle.
Sports Center with an E up in Canada.
Centre?
Sports Centre, they may put you on there. But in this situation, you didn't come out looking good.
No, you didn't. I always feel like shit pops up right when we get done with this.
You think?
Yeah, like
Sometimes
there's like
that
some sort of
happens.
drama happens, and we're like, "Fuck."
Well,
we should talk about that.
Sydney's been very depressed lately.
Who?
Crosby. You hear his comments, and he's been very upset
Well,
after
yeah.
his losses.
Yeah, he hates that, man. He's competitive.
Yeah.
I just hate seeing him out of the mix, man. I do.
Mm.
I hate seeing Sidney Crosby out of the mix. I want to see him in the playoffs. I do. He's still fun. He's still doing his thing.
Yeah.
Fuck, I watched Bedard the other night. Shit kicked Clayton Keller, and Clayton Keller had a nice goal.
Yeah.
That organization.
That team is terrible.
Jesus, Andy. I know it's fun. He's probably got a lovely place looking over the desert and the mountains and stuff, but that's a joke. What if Arizona was good? What if they were good this year?
Mm-hmm.
What if they were good and they won the first round? And then they go in the
They
second.
host the
They
Stanley
have
Cup.
to. What if you had to go to that fucking place with 4,000 people?
They'd make them
What would
play
they
in
do?
a neutral site.
What would they do?
Make them play in a neutral site.
That's embarrassing. Good God.
What
Get this
would they
shit
do?
figured out. Imagine they were good. Imagine they were
Hey,
good. That's
the
ridiculous.
NHL, I don't even know
It's a
why
joke.
you'd
People
even
are
wanna
laughing.
hang on to this team.
The people are laughing at that, dude. It's a fucking joke. They get to the conference final. They got 4,000
I had a source
people.
break it down the other day, being like, this guy, the owner
Yoink.
of Arizona, like he makes like over $200 million a year from his businesses.
Yeah.
So losing $40 million a year from the Coyotes is
Yeah.
just like a tax write-off for him. But at some point in time,
When you're a
dude,
billionaire, you don't want to lose money. You know how stingy
I
if you're a
get
billionaire.
it. I get it.
So
But they gotta go, and then find a new owner in Arizona and bring him back there eventually.
or get them the fuck out of there and like don't look back.
Well,
on
I
it.
hear the president there has fractured a number of relationships throughout that market as well.
Listen,
You know,
people aren't coming to
People
watch
aren't
you.
looking to work with him or the organization right
Even
now.
when they remember they were talking about the renderings of that new building, they
Mhm.
voted it down. Like people there were like, I don't want.
Yeah, but they
that."
acted like it was a done deal. They like celebrated.
Yeah, their Twitter account did.
Mhm.
And then like people there voted it down. Like we don't care. We don't want that. It's too noisy. We don't want this around us.
Yeah.
Really odd. You don't want a brand new
So
billion-dollar
Bedard, he's
facility.
like playing against like an American League team.
He was
They
dangling
just
cats.
moved like Zucker and Dumba and all these other guys.
It just sucks, man, because we love Clayton Keller. He's from Swansea, Illinois. We've known him when he was young, and we want to see him in the spotlight. The kid looks like a model. He's walking in all these rinks. He's just decked out. He's dominating the ice. Like he sticks out. He's getting breakaways. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's a hell of a hockey player, but he's playing in Arizona, and that just sucks, man.
Mhm.
And again, the weather's
The
great.
junior Coyotes.
The junior Coyotes. Ty had more people in the tournament the other day. It's god awful. It's god awful. They're handing out like free tickets
I
and
know.
shit.
I want to talk to a player who played there and then left. Why don't they open up and just be like, it's embarrassing that the NHL is making these guys play there?
Yeah.
Like Jason Zucker, man, you've been around for a long time. Speak publicly about it. Be like, it's a fucking
Get 'em on.
joke. Now that you're in Nashville,
I know. Nashville, on the other hand, my God.
could you imagine going from like Arizona? Now you're in Nashville. It's like, wow, this locker room's so big.
Imagine going from Arizona to anywhere. Imagine going to Arizona to like North Dakota college.
Oh, apparently it's a nice college rink.
Whatever. It's a college rink. It's just embarrassing. It truly is. And if they went far in the playoffs, and like, what do you do? What would you do? You'd have to go to another rink. Imagine that. Where would you go?
I like some of these teams that just did quiet moves, and everyone's like, well, they were quiet. They didn't do much. It's like, well, they did a lot of moves, but it just didn't happen right at the deadline. Like Vancouver, getting Lindholm, getting Zadorov, whatever.
Is it weird that Lou didn't do anything? Isn't that the first? He hasn't done much.
Sometimes you don't have to do something. I think this idea that you have to do something is completely overblown. I always go back to when the Blues won the Cup in 19. They didn't do shit.
They did a ton over the summer, though.
Yeah, they did.
They did a shit ton over the summer.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they made
that's the time to do it.
I get that, but like, Islanders have just been like kind of right there. Lou really hasn't made too many moves.
Whatever.
I don't know. Fans are bitching a little bit, but now they're on a heater.
Yeah,
playing
they're
pretty
like
damn
winning
good.
games. Why would you want to disrupt that? What's
They
there
weren't
to
at the
complain
time.
about?
They really weren't at the time.
Goaltenders playing well.
They weren't though. Like, they just kind of started winning
I know.
games.
I know.
The fucking
Once
Blues
they played
beat
the
them.
Blues.
The Blues
No, they
beat them.
lost. Well, they beat them here.
The Blues beat
Then
them.
the Blues lost there.
So my point is like, you weren't great leading up to the trade deadline. You still don't do anything. I don't know. I root for the Islanders,
People
man.
were like, they just won't stop. Even today, like I'm reading about like what Edmonton didn't do, even though they got like Adam Henrique. That's a hell of a pickup, dude.
Yes, it is.
They got Carrick.
Carrick fought Olivier.
And
Did you see
he
that?
brings some like character. Like, what do you want them to go? They don't. They got They've got McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman. And what do you think they need? Like,
Well, you need
another offensive goal scorer. I mean,
yeah to balance it out.
Well, Henry can score.
That's
dude.
what I'm saying. I'm not bitching about it. I
No.
said they did pretty damn
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
You only have so much wiggle room for shit too.
Yeah.
You can only do so much. I thought that was a great pickup. Adam Henrique, he's a great guy, man. I played with him in Jersey.
But you know,
Handsome
people
bugger.
are like, well, they missed out on Buchnevich. Listen, I've been consistent, man, on what I said
Yes,
about
you have.
Buchnevich for at least a month leading up to the trade deadline when these rumors started.
You have.
And I've always said that like the Blues were not looking to trade Pavel Buchnevich, and you don't move a player of his caliber who means that much to an organization without talking to the player to find out if you can re-sign him or not. You know, the Blues have a lot of money coming off the books this summer, and you know maybe there's going to be an opportunity there to utilize that money and put it towards Buchnevich. But you can also make other moves in the summer and free up additional cap space by doing that in an effort to try to sign him. Now, once you have the conversation, and if you come to the conclusion that there's no deal to be made, well, then you sign him or trade him. You know what I'm saying? If you know you can't sign him, then you explore the trade market. But I don't think you just start exploring the trade market and trying to trade a player of his caliber who means that much to the organization before you have that conversation. And I always try to use some common sense. I look at Granlund the same way in San Jose. I didn't feel like they were going to move him either, even though his name was being mentioned and thrown out there too. So I don't know.
Army chirped the boys today in the paper. St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
What, the players?
Yeah, he's just kind of calling them out. Like, I need to see more.
Yeah.
Like you know, they don't look like they're having fun.
No.
I walked out. He was like, I'm looking at that locker room, and
is that what he said? Well, to say what he said.
He said that they don't look like they're having any fun. There's no joy coming to the rink. Yeah. Then he says, you know, I guess they're asking about some of the older guys, some of the veterans. Like, well, we didn't get many calls.
No.
On a lot of these guys.
Man, and that's what happens. It's like,
yeah,
you do realize the rest of the league is watching them play too.
Shit.
And so everyone just assumes because you have an expiring contract that you're just going to get traded.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wanted like Kasperi Kapanen or a Marco Scandella or any of these guys, man. If they could have moved on from some of these players, they probably would have. Well, Schenner's got a lot of term left on his contract, but he's gone like 15 games in a row without
no one's calling
scoring. So
can't just trade somebody that they don't want.
You know, but teams would take Braden Shen.
But I say when your GM comes out,
you know what I'm saying? Teams would take Braden Shen. Like,
well, yeah,
he's just got a lot of money and term that's owed to him.
Isn't
so
that always
that's
the case?
not a player that really is in play right now.
Yeah,
he just named him captain, so I don't think that's a player that's in play. But they need more. When you're talking about players, they need more from. I mean, even Robert Thomas has gone 4 or 5 consecutive games without a point. You know, Kyrie's got 1 goal in his last 9. Like, they're not getting anything out of any of these guys. They're not playing with any type of cohesion or chemistry from one line to the next. And now they're turning pucks over once again. They're taking too many penalties. Their PK hasn't been nearly as good.
Chaser talks about it too. He gives it, and you guys will you have to listen to understand what he was talking about with the Blues too. Chaser went on for like an hour and a half.
He did.
Like, he went on. We did.
No,
sometimes Andy and I just have to let these guys go.
Chaser just hosted the podcast.
No, he did. There's one thing where Chaser did say about Ovi breaking. He doesn't want to see Ovi breaking Gretter's record. And you could tell Andy must have just wanted to agree with Chaser because, like, he just thought that I'm just going to – because Andy's been talking about Ovi, and we both have, how much we want him to see him break the record. But all of a sudden, Chaser said he didn't. Yeah. And then you jumped in and said, I agree with you, Chaser. And I'm looking at you like, what?
No.
That's exactly what happened.
No, I've never said that I want him to break Gretzky's record.
We've been talking about that forever.
What I was saying was that he was probably going to break Gretzky's record.
We've talked how much we love Ovi for fucking months about this. Then once he said it because he's friends with Gretter, you chimed in.
And then this year, with Ovi kind of slowing down, I don't know. There's some records that are sacred. You mentioned the Gordie Howe games played.
I hated that Patrick Marleau beating him out. I hated that.
Well, when you're just playing to.
Exactly.
I get it. I get it.
I want to see Ovi break it, dude.
But Chaser has his own philosophy and thoughts as to why, Ovi
disagree
all of a
with
sudden
him.
has found a second win. So, I mean, listen, you'll have to listen to the podcast.
Ooh, baby. You got to check this out. You got to listen. Oh, by the way, Andy's phone was blown. This was trade deadline. Chaser's in here like literally talking about hardcore shit. And Andy's phone is, I thought he was going to say something to you, but he didn't.
Well, I think he knows it was trade
Dude,
deadline, dude.
You could have. No. You could have turned. You could have still
I
saw
can't.
it. Andy, it still pops up.
Mhm.
So you could have turned the buzzing off, which is going to pick up no matter what.
Yeah.
But it pops up so you could still see it.
Listen,
without the
I
buzz.
would
I'm surprised. He
I
didn't say
would
something to you.
never, in the past,
Surprised he
ever
didn't say
do a
something.
3-hour podcast on trade deadline day.
Okay. Well, we had to.
But
So
but
you- it's
but
like
now
you
I'm
didn't
just like, whatever. I knew the Blues weren't going to do anything actually anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like you miss a tweet and somebody gets. You've had some good tweets.
Oh,
dude.
and I had
You
some
broke the-
messages coming in, dude. Like, there was a couple
This
that
is more important at the time.
There's a couple.
This is more important. That thing was going off every 2 seconds.
I would have had that.
And Chaser's literally breaking
Yeah.
down hardcore. And he's looking at you. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to get pissed at
Joel
Andy. He didn't.
Joel Edmondson, Jake Allen. I would have had some
Yeah, but what does
others.
that do?
Nothing.
Okay, then
It's
who
all
cares?
good. It's all good, man.
Yeah, surprised.
A lot of these guys, they just report the same thing right after one another.
Well, you got Vladdy.
There's something.
How does that work, by the way?
Well,
when you say Vladdy's going to Florida,
Mm-hmm,
and you tweet it out
mm-hmm,
before anybody,
mm-hmm.
and then 20 minutes later somebody else tweets it out, they don't credit you. They just everybody's
No,
on their own. How does that work?
Normally it doesn't happen, but whatever. I
Okay.
don't get too caught up in it. It is what
But
it
do
is.
they credit each other?
No,
No,
not usually.
okay, so who cares?
Sometimes like one or two may credit one another.
It's a big dick contest.
But dude, a lot of these guys report the exact same thing in succession. It's almost like it's coming from the league.
Because it is.
I mean, guys like Elliot Friedman and Darren Drager and
We
some
love.
of these guys, listen, Frank, they all have their sources and they do a great job covering the league. But there's some things when I see, and listen, Nick Kiprios, when he was on with us, he basically confirmed it. Like, hey, yeah, the league is like throwing this out there.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody in the trade center or whatever is sending out either a group text or they're all getting it at the same time. I don't know how that would happen, where they're all reporting it at once, dude, right before the team announces it. But they don't break Blues shit, dude. Army doesn't talk to a lot of these guys.
Really?
No, he doesn't. And like Lou Lamoriello doesn't either.
You think?
A lot of the old school guys don't.
Lou does not talk to anybody.
You know,
about
I
that.
was talking to one GM, though,
Should we get Lou on again?
not after what you just said about him.
What did I say about him?
When I was telling Chaser the best GMs in the league, and you were like, oh, no, he's kind of like lost his fastball.
He has a little bit. You know? Dude, get out of here. with
I
that.
was shocked that you said that.
He's
Because
lost
he
his-
will be coming for you.
No,
No,
we're not going to clip that off.
because I was surprised that you said that because I brought up Lou as one of the best GMs in the league still,
No, he has, though.
and you're like, wow, no.
No, he's getting older, man. Like, he's lost his fastball a
Okay. What do
little
you mean?
bit.
He's got his team in the playoffs. Just hired
Does he?
Patrick Waugh.
It's not. They're not there yet. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything at a deadline for the past, I don't know, 3 years probably.
Get off the deadline. Everybody acts like the deadline is the end all be all.
Yeah, but when you're right there in the mix and you got to maybe a little bit, you could just find a way to, and he's so good at finding different things. Like he knows everybody, he knows how to make deals. Like I was just surprised. And I'm not the only one. It's all good. I want them to win. But
All I'm saying is Lou will be coming for you, just so you know. And they are in the
No,
playoffs
Lou-
today. I knew they were.
today they are.
Yeah.
Today they are, but they're fighting back and forth. They're borderline,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
So sometimes you need to take it over the edge. Like I think their fans deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been just kind of like
They brought in Bo Horvat last
I
year.
know,
I mean, like, you know,
I'm just saying. I want them to succeed.
Some years you're going to be really active. He's never hesitated to make moves, dude. Lou Lamoriello.
I know.
And to
I'm
do
just saying.
unconventional things.
Yeah, like fire a coach, like do this. I know.
Yeah.
I played for him.
So his deadline move may be bringing in Patty Waugh. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
He's not playing.
It's coaching.
He's not playing, dude.
Coaches make a difference
You
too.
need some scoring. You need a couple
Goaltenders
things.
playing better.
The goaltenders, yeah, they got good goaltending. You just need more scores. That's all. No big deal, baby. We should get him back on, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we should too.
I think we should. It's so funny. Like we have this. If you guys are in St. Louis, which a lot of you are not, but we do have a lot of St. Louis fans. April 5th at Centene is the event, Puck Cancer, and it's going to be a party. And it's going to be a blast, and it's going to go to a great cause.
a lot of guys coming in.
Going
man.
to Siteman's, all the donations. I don't know how that works percentages, but they're throwing a ton of money at Siteman's, which is We have fucking great hospitals here in St. Louis, man. We
Mhm.
truly do, especially for cancer. and
NHL
whatnot.
alumni event.
The alumni event, the Blues alumni are playing, the NHL alumni. I'm going to be out there. Dirk Bentley's going to be out there. Garth Brooks is going to be there. And anytime I bring up these country singers, like Kate would love to come watch me play. But now that Dirk Bentley's there
Yeah.
and fucking Garth Brooks, she's like, how many tickets can you get, Cam?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she never bugs me for anything.
Yeah.
But this event, my dad wants to go now.
Yeah, good.
I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Your wife, Lori's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to load up on some tickets.
Yeah, you are.
Because you got these handsome-ass country cats coming in. The women folk want to come in. Now my buddies want to go. Lori's got to go. Her and Kate could do her thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
I want you behind the bench.
Well, then let's go.
Let's go.
Make it happen.
I want cameras there. I want to...
We got Joel Quenneville coming in.
We got Joel
Wayne
Quenneville.
Gretzky coming in.
We got some big boys coming in, dude. But we should have Brody film it. Film playing. Film me and your interaction.
Mm-hmm.
I want you chirping me. I want our back and
Just
forth.
go out there and play hard.
I'm going to.
Get pucks out and get
I'm going
pucks
to do
in.
my thing, boy.
Okay.
I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to start rollerblading in my subdivision. I got those badass rollerblades from Mars.
Yeah, Mars Blade.
Yes.
Yeah, I was talking to them again the other day.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait. I'm excited, man. And the proceeds go to a fucking great cause. And there's so many people that are affected by cancer. Good
Yeah.
God
Oh,
almighty.
man.
Like, we all are.
And Chaser's been through it, man. And you know what? Like, for this guy to come in here, he just had his 5th round, I believe, of chemo. And
I'm like, he thought
he's like a machine, that guy,
He is.
dude. He just doesn't. He was coming from a meeting like an hour away, dude. He's just constantly on.
Well, we
the
didn't
move,
talk about
dude.
his other endeavor he's got going.
No, we didn't.
His cigar bar. What's it
Yeah,
called?
I know. Carbon, maybe, or
Yeah, Carbon. He had it all decked out, and he's like, "You didn't ask about this." I'm like, "Fuck, like we forgot."
yeah,
Or you should have brought it up.
yeah. And I know I know some people who have been there and checked it out.
Oh, it's probably
all,
awesome.
all good things.
So, like, Chaser has like the thickest hair ever. And I go, when did you start fucking? He's like, he thought that no matter what, his hair's so thick.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, there's no way I'm losing this. He's like, but then I went like this,
Yeah, just
pulled it
coming
right out,
Yeah,
like grabbing a dog's hair, like
Mhm.
fucking coming right out. And yeah, he had to shave his head. It's just, I don't care how thick your hair is, man.
Yeah.
This shit.
he's still
You
a
know,
bulldog though, man.
He's a fucking bulldog motherfucker, dude. You goddamn right he is. He tells some Twister stories. You gotta listen to this, man. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm so glad we got him on. He
Yeah.
looks great.
Yeah.
He's going through a lot of shit, but he's gonna bounce back. He's a shit kicker, dude.
Mm-hmm. I
He's
don't know about
fucking
this
tough.
dog your dad got though.
I can't wait to get
I'm
out
like
of here. I'm gonna go.
4-year Have you met the dog
No,
yet?
I can't wait, dude. I'm skedaddling right
Does
out of
it
here.
bite?
Andy, it's a golden doodle. You know about golden doodles because remember the
I've
people
never
at Creve
heard
Coeur?
of a family getting
Andy didn't
rid
even
of
know
a
what kinda-
golden doodle.
No. They have 5 kids, man.
Who cares?
Don't
They
chirp them.
kept it for 4 years.
Their kids are getting, dude. They have no time.
I
for
know
it.
those people.
Come on.
People who get a dog.
No, you know what? I like when
then
people
they get rid of the dog.
fuck that. I don't like when people have a dog and they neglect it and they want to keep it and neglect it. They give it no attention. Not saying that's the case, but they understood that they couldn't transfer as much attention to the dog. When you got kids, they have older kids that are fucking playing sports every day. Look at Andy. Andy barely gets on time here at the most important thing he's got going because of his kid stuff. Imagine having 5 fucking kids. And then you got a dog that you don't want to neglect. So she did the right thing to look at my dad who's lonely, who needs a goddamn companion. Tucky's about to die. All he does is listen to us on the fucking radio. He listens to our podcast and he walks every fucking day miles and miles
Well, I
with
was
his
thinking
companion.
about getting him
And so my aunt did him a favor.
An 8-week
My
old.
aunt did him a favor.
Golden doodle.
And now this golden doodle is going to have the best life ever with an unbelievable daddy
Yeah.
that's going to take care of him. So that was awesome.
Now
man.
he's got to get the dog groomed and stuff like that because if it
I
gets
know.
matted, they shave it.
Yeah, no, he will do all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go right over there right now and see that little puppy. I call it a puppy. It's 4 years old, but it's disciplined and knows how to potty train. My dad couldn't handle a puppy, dude. Like, it's too much at the
It's
beginning.
a big dog. Is it pulling him when he walks it and stuff like
Nah,
that?
he's got that fucking. He's stronger than you think, dude.
Is he?
Fuck yeah. He looks good. He's got all first
And
form
he's
shit
and
everywhere.
he's coming to the event.
Yes. He wanted to come. My
Big
dad
Danny.
usually is a recluse. He's starting to do a little bit more stuff.
Yeah.
So he's going to come to the event, watch me play,
Okay.
hang out with Kate and you
Good.
and everybody.
Yeah. We'll have some fun.
You know, he doesn't care about the country singer. He just wants to see me play.
Yeah.
That's all he cares
Will he
about.
be wearing all first form stuff?
Fuck yeah. Fucking probably wearing a, devil's hat or something just to show, like, hey,
Mhm.
man, might be.
Dude, you better start working out.
Yeah, I need to start skating.
You
I
need to
told you
start-
that. I'm going to do.
You need
I
to
got-
start training
skating
dude,
a little
for
bit.
this
Yep.
game.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going on vacation too, and I'm going to be out in the sun.
That's not till May.
It's not till May. I got to get my tan on a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Would you get a spray tan?
Fuck no. Spray tans, I'll go tanning though. It's so embarrassing because Kate and I'll be like, okay, we're going on vacation.
Mhm.
I need to get a tan. Tanning is so fucking expensive, man. It's
Mhm.
kind of embarrassing when you walk in. There's like a little cute girl there, like, hey,
Oh my
go in. It's
God.
all women in there. I'm
Isn't
like,
it like give you cancer and stuff?
probably.
Like that?
So does this. So does anything. You know, what gave Chaser cancer?
I
What?
know,
What
I
did he
know.
do to get that cancer? Like sometimes this happens. If I get this, man, that's all on fucking me, dude. And it is what it is. But that if you go all the time, yeah. If you stay out in the sun all the time, yeah, you're gonna get cancer. So there's a, you know, you
What happens if you didn't have any grizzly for like 2 days? What would happen to you?
probably nothing.
Would you think you could handle that?
Yeah, I've handled the most hardcore things you possibly imagine.
Like, are you that addicted to
Yeah.
the chew?
big time? Yeah. I am.
Really?
Mhm. Yep. Costs out the ass too.
What does that cost?
$6 a 10.
Really?
Yes.
And you go through one per day?
One per day. That's funny.
How many per day?
About 3.
3 tins per day?
Yeah.
Dude,
So I mean,
that's way too much.
I was spending so much money on painkillers.
That's
dude.
$20 a day
Mhm.
on chew.
I don't do much though. Like that's
Yeah, that's
know.
what you're spending your money on.
yeah, and beer.
Okay.
And
Okay, your energy was a little better this week.
Is it
I
better?
saw. You still didn't bring any other like interesting topics.
We talked hockey, you dick. What do you want me to do? You want to talk
Oh.
about that girl that got fucking basically beaten to death at
Oh
Hazelwood
my
East?
God. Oh, at Hazelwood East.
Or East Hazelwood?
No.
Oh my
That
God.
woman though that got attacked, that girl, that was a big story. She got attacked by that somebody.
Oh Jesus. Okay, thanks. But
Like
this
an
girl,
illegal or
yeah,
something.
yeah, got her fucking head smashed in by the illegal. Oh, you can't call it illegal.
I
Joe Biden
didn't-
apologized. See now
See,
you're
I
getting
don't
me,
even know
now
why.
you're getting me to see because you're so clueless.
Okay,
on shit.
so should we take that out?
Well, no, it's fine. This girl got killed by an illegal alien, which I'm still going to say that, but Joe Biden had to apologize for saying illegal. He got her fucking name right. He called her Lincoln Riley instead of Lakin Riley. Lincoln Riley's a goddamn.
what is it? Football
it's l-
coach?
Yeah, it's football coach.
You just said he called her Lincoln Riley instead of Lincoln Riley.
Lakin.
Lakin.
He has no idea about this shit.
Where
Didn't
was
give
she?
a fuck about her.
What state?
Georgia. So anyway, they're on campus in this
Yeah,
illegal.
well, I'm thinking
Bat-
about the family.
Well, let me
dude.
say it because you brought it up. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So now I'm going to do it. So this girl gets head bashed in by an illegal immigrant that came over here, had fucking just loads of just shit on under
Prior
his belt.
criminal?
Fuck, of course, let out, and like they all are.
In the States or in Mexico?
States, probably both. But
Was
anyway,
he, was he Mexican or Venezuelan or something? What was it?
he came over illegally. But anyway, yeah, that girl got killed. But this other girl at a high school in St. Louis got into a fight on the asphalt.
Yeah.
The two of them started kind of like,
At the
okay, what happened?
corner.
And this other girl grabbed her, threw her down, took her head,
Oh.
and goes, wham,
Dude, you
wham,
see him on
wham,
Twitter all
wham.
the time.
And she's like, boom. It was horrible.
You saw the video?
Yes. dude.
No.
Yeah, it's all over. Yeah.
Dude, it's all over Twitter when you see these videos. I told you I don't like watching
God
those.
awful. The For You on Twitter is hardcore, man. Sometimes I forget I'm on For You on Twitter. It's fucking people in
For
Palestine
You.
are getting stoned to death. People over here getting that. It's fucking crazy.
For
Now, a
You.
lot of it's bullshit. Some of it's bullshit, but a lot of it's not. And that certainly wasn't. That was hardcore, man. That's hardcore. Yeah, poor girl. That was bad. That girl's going to go to jail who did that.
Like
It's
for
one
life-
thing to
for
knock
life, you
somebody
think?
out in a fight and then they hit their head and say,
Yeah,
whoa,
but
you're still gonna
repeatedly
get...
throw their head into the concrete.
But if
dude.
me and you fought,
that's
which-
murder, dude.
Kind of, dude.
Kind of.
No, because they both went at it. I don't know how it's going to go down.
Oh,
But you know, when you hit her head one time, like, then she kept doing it. Like, it was fucking brutal.
damn, dude.
Brutal. Hardcore shit going on, man. I don't want to be so.
I know
down
you
and
were
out.
upset when Lindsay Haley had dropped out. She was pausing her.
See, just stop. You called her Nikki Glazier.
Nikki
then Lindsay
Haley.
Nikki
Haley,
But
sorry.
Of course that was going to
Nikki
happen.
Haley.
She's not keeping up
She
with Trump.
paused it. It was very emotional.
You don't even know what's
And
going on.
Cam was
I don't care about her. Although, like, when the Democrats all are in favor of somebody on the
Mhm.
Republican side, you know it's not great.
Mhm.
But I don't like Nikki Haley. If she's president, I'd vote for her. If she was beating out Trump, I'd vote for her in 2 seconds.
you?
But she's not. She had no chance against him.
Trump
Trump's-
was just at the fight.
Yeah, you see those
see-
fights? Those UFC fights were sick, man. Dustin Poirier is my fucking guy, dude. He's a shit kicker from down in Nolens. He went to jail as a kid.
He did.
Didn't have anything going on. I think he had a high school sweetheart that he's still with, and he became a fucking badass. He doesn't chirp guys. He'll have a rebuttal, but he doesn't call out people's family. He doesn't do this. All he does is kick ass and take names.
Was my
He's
cousin
cool as
involved?
shit.
Was my cousin fighting
Fucking
on this card?
Poirier was throwing bombs.
Was my
dude.
cousin on this card?
No, but
Sean
E. Strickland. No, he wasn't. He's chilling out right now. He's doing all kinds of video and stuff, doing his thing.
Bosa
Sean's
was
hardcore.
there from the 49ers.
Yeah, a lot of guys were.
He was talking
Dave
to Trump.
Portnoy was sitting next to Trump and all that shit.
Mhm.
But another fight happened that I didn't even know was going down. Francis Ngannou, who was a heavyweight champ, which is like the toughest guy in the world for the UFC. Didn't make that much money. Had a spat with Dana White. Now he's doing boxing. He fought Tyson Fury a year ago and almost beat Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was out of shape, fucking didn't really care. They made a bunch of money. Everybody's like, damn, Frankie Ngannou, he's great at boxing too. Then he goes over and fights the Brit, Anthony Joshua, who's lost some fights and gets knocked out. Gets really, really knocked out. Anthony Joshua buckled Francis Ngannou, man. And it was hardcore. I didn't even know they were fighting. Knocked him right out. And that was a big step for boxing. Because I don't care if you're a UFC fighter or not. Now, off the ice, out of the cage, any UFC fighter is going to beat a boxer up no matter what, dude. They got too many fucking variables in their back pocket. But when you get into a boxing match with a guy that's just the size of you, Anthony Joshua, and he knocked him right out, man. That was hardcore. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Your
You
analysis?
don't watch it. You don't watch anything.
I
of
do.
anything.
I watch the big fights. I got people.
What happened?
I got people that hook me up with
hardcore,
streaming and stuff. I got
That's a little wake up call for all you UFC
community.
fighters. I know Connor did it with Floyd. Who knows what that was all about? I know all this. Jake Paul's going to fight Mike Tyson.
Well, is he?
Yes.
He looks like he's.
Look on your phone.
No,
on
I've
other
been watching
things.
him
Jesus
train
Christ,
recently. He's going to fight a 60-year-old man.
Yeah, 60. He's going to be like 58, and Jake Paul is 27. I hope Tyson fucks him up, but it's not going to happen. Jake Paul's going to probably beat Tyson.
Really?
That sucks. Yeah.
Why is Tyson? Does he need the money that bad?
I would say his competitiveness
No.
and the money issue. Tyson's making good money right now, dude.
Is he?
And Tyson doesn't care about money anymore. He's had all the money, and he says he's better off without it. Because the more money you have, the more shit you get
He's
into.
been hanging with Snoop and doing some
He
stuff.
just smokes, and he does his thing. He does podcasts, and he's probably just chill. But then all of a sudden, some kid's fucking chirping. I'm like, I would fucking be at Mike's probably like, fuck you, let's go. But at 58 years old, dude, I don't want to see this, man. I don't want to see Mike Tyson get fucked up by Jake Paul. Jake Paul might fuck him up. And I don't want to see it.
Damn.
I know.
Who's the tougher Paul brother?
Jake, I would say, at boxing wise, but
More
I think
than Logan?
I think Logan's more successful. I think Logan has the prime, and they're probably both involved on that. But Logan's doing WWE backflipping off things.
How about Stephen A. Smith fighting
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee?
What's that all
what's
about?
going on there?
I don't know.
Why is Stephen he's always involved in some drama and shit. Do you think he doesn't like Pat McAfee stepping on his turf there at ESPN?
Probably. I think Pat McAfee's the only one to get paid more than him.
Oh, is he making more than Stephen?
I
Nobody
don't know.
should probably make more than Stephen A. right now over there, to be
I'd
honest
say
with you.
McAfee's the only one.
Is he? I heard his ratings weren't great.
McAfee's?
Yeah.
I didn't read that. Where do you read the stuff at
I
that you
just-
say that you read that you
I
don't?
got sources telling
But,
me. I mean,
and
who sits
McAfee's-
around and watches ESPN in the afternoon, Monday through Friday? I mean, who has
lot of
time to
people
do
do.
that?
It's on every single bar, everywhere you go. ESPN's on talking about this fucking
But do you
shit.
have time?
So
are you
everybody
sitting
sees it.
around watching TV during the afternoon?
Fuck yeah, I do. I don't have kids.
No, you don't. You're here. You're places.
Well, I don't watch that specifically, but I can if I wanted to go home and watch that. Of
Mhm.
course, Pat McAfee's pretty
I
interesting
feel-
guy,
I
and he
don't-
likes hockey too.
I
So I'll
don't
give him
like
some credit.
turning the TV on during the daytime. I feel lazy if I do that.
It is a lazy thing, but you have kids, man. Like
I like reading books and
you
stuff
don't
like
do
that.
a fucking thing with that.
What are you talking about?
What book did you read? Name me 5 books you've read.
Oh, dude.
Name me 5 books you've read in your life.
I will. But
Go ahead.
Well, 6 shooters being one of them.
Name me 5 fucking books you read. Okay, Sutter. I read that too.
Yeah.
What else?
I read like a Jerry Garcia autobiography.
Get out of here. It's all good. You tell me you're reading us, so I just called you out. You, obviously,
No,
you
I
haven't
do.
Read
I've
anything.
read some other stuff
Like
too.
what?
I read Theo Fleury's book.
Okay. I bet you have.
I read what's that one book?
How about
With the orange cover. Like
what's the one book?
Like if I don't like life Don't give any fucks.
It's all good, man.
Don't
You
give
don't
a
got time, dude.
No, I'm
Listen,
just-
if you want to sit down and read a
Yeah.
book, you have to have time.
Dude, I know.
You really do. And even like for Andy and I, like, fuck, we're on radio every single day. Andy's got to do hits all day long. I got a 3-hour show I host. We got podcast. It's hard to sit down and commit yourself to a book when you got to read about hockey stuff going on.
Yeah.
You got to know what's going on. Like, I got to know what's going on in the news and stuff like that.
I got
to fill time. So for me to sit down and read a book
Yeah.
that long right now, I got to be committed.
I got a good film room that I'm doing tonight with Torrey Krugman.
Good.
Really breaks down the power play. It's very interesting.
I like Kruger. Good.
Me too. He's the only one that was going after Rempe,
Yeah.
like hitting him,
Yeah, no doubt.
like during the play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal.
I'm just saying.
He
He
didn't
just
do
showed
much.
a little bit of.
Like, if that's what you got to point out, then the Blues have.
Well, they do.
They have no counter to that.
Oh.
They have no counter to that kid. They had no counter to anything in that game.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a long.
Hey, but you know
19
what?
game for
St.
the
Louis
Blues.
has a bunch of home games coming up. If they can start winning some of their home games,
They're
and then
eight-pack,
if they
dude.
can make that game on April 4th when Nashville comes here, they play Nashville.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden you can win enough between now and then to make that game interesting,
That'd be cool. They're just not.
no,
No way. And Chaser talked about the Blues too.
I know. We'll
And
get
gave a
into that.
nice little like comparison to what Torch is doing and whatnot. You gotta listen to this interview.
Yeah.
It's damn good.
I agree.
Andy and I did a pretty good job, man. It's great getting him on. And he had a lot of energy, which was awesome to see. Put more weight on. Like, he looked good, dude. Although he had all this stuff. He's like fucking showing me.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
know.
he's got all these like things where needles are already in
Oh,
his system.
my
They just have to hook
God.
it back up.
Dude, he's been through a lot.
When he came out, he pulled up. I was waiting out for him in the parking lot.
No, you weren't. You weren't here, and he texted. I said,
Yeah,
go
and
out
I-
and get him. I sent you out.
And then I went out there
I sent
and
you
I
out
waited
there.
for him for 4 minutes because he wasn't
did?
here yet.
Oh, he was.
And then he pulled up. And then like I had to help him walk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw to help him walk.
Well, he walked back to the car.
Yeah, and he was walking slow. Do you not notice? And he
Yeah.
walks 50 miles an hour, and I'm sitting there with Chaser, like I gotta kind of hold him still. So he looks a lot better, but he's
Yeah.
still weak as
Yeah.
fuck.
Dude, it,
But you
dude,
still
it
kick
takes
your
all
ass.
your energy
Yeah.
out of you, man.
Still kick your ass.
Yeah.
But this is a damn good interview, man. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
enjoy this one.
Enjoy this.
Fueled by First Form, always, Cam.
Yeah, baby.
Listen, this is one of the most important things to tell the people, because when you buy something from First Form, especially your first couple of purchases, like you're just trying to figure out what you want, what you need. 110% money back guarantee.
That's a big
110% money back guarantee.
matter
So
what.
if you don't like it, you get all your money back plus 10%.
pretty damn good deal. That's how
That's how confident they are.
exactly. That's how confident they are with their product.
I use the level 1 daily. I put 2 scoops. You guys were like scaring me, like saying, well, that's a lot. I'm like, no,
No one said
it's like
that.
50 grams of
No one
protein.
said
That's what I'm
Clean
doing.
your ears out, dude.
I just
no
did.
one
Did I
said
tell you I went to that
No.
ear place,
Do you have
dude?
like a bug in there or
No,
something?
my ear was completely clogged, dude. She
Mhm.
put a machine in there. She was very smart. Can't believe I didn't talk about that. This
No one
machine,
cares.
dude, she cleared out my whole ear. It was
It's nice.
amazing.
It's a good feeling. They like pop and you can hear
Listen
better.
to the podcast, too. The people there.
Really?
Mhm.
Good. Good.
I couldn't hear it pop, but I could hear afterwards, man. It was pretty amazing. But 110% money back guarantee. Level 1 is like that lifestyle shake that you can take even if you're not working out, you know. The Formula 1 you want to take as a post-workout. They got pre-workout stuff. They got apparel left and right. Is that First Form you're wearing right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's
People are asking for all this
It's
shit.
like lifestyle apparel, too. It's not just workout stuff.
Yeah, I do the level 1 in the morning, man.
Yeah.
And I
good.
do 2 scoops, which is not a big deal.
Mhm.
Like you just you need a lot of protein throughout
Yeah.
the day. I put of course I put the frozen fruit in there, and I
Yes.
sip that all the way to the studio early in the morning. Coats my stomach, gives me a fucking bunch of energy.
Collagen.
The collagen's damn good. Kate,
I do the fruits
Kate
and the
mixed that a
greens.
lot.
Make sure you have the necessary nutrients, the vegetables and the fruits.
gotta get all that in your body.
No, you got to get the greens, dude.
The greens too, yeah.
Well,
Sometimes
why
your body
haven't
craves.
you don't do any greens?
Yeah. Oh, my
Did
body.
you barbecue this weekend?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yep, I did. I did kebabs with all kinds of veggies in them, steak
good.
and chicken kebabs.
Bro.
Yeah, with a big salad and
Do you clean out your grill when you haven't used it in
Yeah,
a while? Like,
yep,
well, how'd you
well, I
clean
let
it
it
out?
burn off. So I'll put a fucking ton of charcoal in there, and if I
For
need
how long?
30, 40
And then you
minutes.
scrape it.
Yeah, I'll clean that mug
Yeah,
easily.
yeah, that's good.
You know.
Yeah, make sure you do that, Cam.
Thank you.
I
You've never used a grill like that in your life.
I got a Traeger. I'm a Traeger ambassador. What are you
Yeah, that's
talking
not a
about?
grill like that.
A charcoal grill.
I have a charcoal.
I've used one of those.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot more difficult, man, to get your settings right and stuff like that. Andy is like, I'm good at Traeger. You press a fucking button, dude.
Dude, you got to know what temperature.
I
all
know.
Of that.
Yeah, and you type it in and press it. When you have charcoal, you have to really balance it. You have to shut the vents the right way.
Oh, you don't know, dude.
Okay.
Like it's some type of science.
It
Just
is.
get the charcoal going and put the steaks on there.
It's not how it works, homeboy. Steaks you put around the fire. Chicken you don't. A lot of other stuff you don't. Ribs you don't.
You should
You
just
have different zones
You
with the
should
heat.
just be taking level 1 shakes right now.
I do.
Okay, and eating those bars and everything else.
And then my hydration pack in the morning
Oh,
too. They're
the
damn.
best.
I crushed that.
That's
bad
what
boy.
I'm gonna have when I get out of here because
Shake it up.
my hip
Bam.
flexor, my energy's been. I just need a hydration.
Yeah,
pack.
get it then.
If you were dealing with the pain that I'm dealing with, dude, you wouldn't even be here right now.
Bitch a chaser about it.
Probably never had pain like this before.
Bitch a chaser about
No,
it.
I wouldn't do that. Hat launch,
Hat launch, man.
dude. Give them a shout out, will you?
Right here, baby. Everybody's been asking me about these yoink hats. I'm like, damn.
Well,
I don't have that many left.
You could have had one if he would have taken them down to Mardi Gras.
No, they would have got stepped on. They would have been a disaster. Now I got a bunch in my truck, and everybody's asking me for them. I'm like, okay.
America's go-to source for headwear.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, anybody needs custom hats, man. Like, listen to me.
AAA team, any hockey team, doesn't matter.
Hockey team, baseball
Yep.
team, business,
Yeah. Yes.
whatever it is. Like,
Bowling.
everyone loves hats, man. Create your own hat.
Even a football fantasy team.
You were supposed to wear your Jansen 55 hat.
Today?
Yeah.
Was I supposed to?
Yeah, your hat launch hat. They made it for you.
I've worn that before.
They were like, Cam, what do you want on your hat?
I'm
You
wearing
said
your other one.
Jansen 51.
I'm 55. I'm wearing my other one today. Sorry about that, Andy.
Yoink.
What are you wearing?
Oh.
Cam strict?
Yeah.
It looks goofy on the one side.
Does it?
Yeah, I think it's like you must have sat on that bad boy.
Oh, probably.
You know.
You never know. Own your way. Allow the custom hat to represent your brand story. And everybody has a story, man. So that's the important thing.
Hat launch.
It represents the brand's story.
Yeah.
What's the story behind what you have?
Well, when I drink beer and I crack that bad boy open, I don't know when I started doing that at the very beginning. I don't know. It just happened.
Fast turnaround, baby.
Popped in my head.
How fast does that turn around?
Fast as shit.
Oh, my God. It was on my porch in no time.
They're like, hey, Cam, we're making some hats. I'm like,
I was
okay.
like, give it to Andy.
And they're like 8 hours later, they're done. I'm like, whoa, shit.
Hatlaunch.com, though. Check it out. All y'all.
So
And
I'm
we're
on
going to
Channel
have
2
some
the other
cool
day.
shit. I know they were on TV.
They're on
the
TV the
other
other
day.
day, too. I gave them a little shout
Local
out.
business, but like America's source for headwear, custom headwear. So anywhere you are in North America,
Yeah.
dude,
Get a hold of them, and
hook
they'll
you
make a
up.
bunch of stuff for you, for your kids,
Yeah,
your wife's this,
it's
whatever.
price right,
Birthdays.
super affordable.
Yeah. You can get creative, too.
Schools. If you're a school out there, you need to create some
Damn right.
hats for your school to represent your school.
They
Dude,
got it all.
hook it up, man. Hat launch, baby. Hatlaunch.com. Endless possibilities to bring your brand to life, man. And that's what it is, man. Every hat has a story. Bring your brand to life. Illinois Recovery Center. IRC, baby. Talk to the people.
God almighty. You guys know. You just know. Fentanyl is the name of the game right now. 100,000 deaths a year in the United States. Talking about fucking all kinds of other problems going on. That's a fucking major problem, if not the biggest problem. Shut that goddamn border down.
Ugh.
You got drugs coming up left and right up through Highway 44, right past Eureka, right past fucking a bunch of towns, right past Kirkwood, all that stuff. Fentanyl out the ass. Now, it could be alcohol, could be all kinds of different things, pills, whatnot. But fentanyl is the fucking big dog, and it gets
Big
you.
dog.
And when I went there to talk to all the patients, dude, that was the biggest issue, in my opinion, was the fentanyl. It's a crisis. It ain't good. And if there's if you know somebody, man, you got to get them away from that as fast as possible. It's a ticking time bomb. You got to go into IRC. It's right there in Swansea, Illinois. Eric Conley and Chrissy Pondoff, they've been through hell and back with multiple different things. They know exactly what they need. Everybody that works there has been through shit, or as a family member has been through shit. They will help you. They have a big, beautiful, nice, comfortable bed waiting for you.
Yeah.
They have big windows. They have a nice little area with grass and go outside.
comfortable.
You could actually see the sun and talk to everybody else and kind of form an alliance of like, we're all in this together. Let's get the hell out of
You
here.
know, natural sunlight's important.
It is
for-
big time. I sat outside of my back deck the other day. I was craving the sun.
You had
man.
your shirt off. And
I had
you
my
were-
shirt off.
And the people are golfing.
And
They're
some-
chirping you, dude.
Some jackass hits a ball right in the middle of my yard for the first time. I'd never, because the way the course goes, like no one even like looks at us, which is nice. So my fucking right in the middle of my yard, and that's out of bounds. So you usually pick up and you take two.
He starts hitting it out of your grass.
It's right out of my yard. I see grass chunk go. I'm like, what the fuck?
I love that guy.
I know he didn't even fix the goddamn divot in like the middle of my backyard. Dickwad. That's an Andy move.
That's a great
That's
move
a rookie
right there.
Andy move where Andy's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Bam. Huge chunk out of my yard.
Way to go, buddy.
I didn't yell at him or anything. I was like, whatever. But that's a rookie.
Dude, you're like a Hoosier sitting out there.
That's a Hoosier move, dude.
Sitting out there.
In my backyard? That's my fucking jam, dude. No one's looking at it. He didn't even see me. He just walked out and just chunked my yard up and then left. Dick.
Illinois Recovery Center, man. And I always say this, too. If you know somebody that needs help and you don't know how to approach them, you don't know how to, like, get them to agree to go get help.
Yeah.
And you feel like it's a lost cause, you've tried maybe several times, dude, reach out to Chrissy and Eric, man. They can counsel you on that, too.
They will. And they could reach out to them, or I could reach out to them, or whatever.
800-743-0971. Again,
They'll help you.
800-743-0971. IRC, IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Check that out and check it out today. All right, Cam, at Bellman, you get no what?
Swinging dicks.
But you do get sushi with flavored water. They will offer that to you when you go in there to make sure you're comfortable when you're looking for a new car. In time for the summer, baby. Listen, they got everything from Buick GMC on one side of the street. Check out those new GMC trucks, dude.
Oh,
Cam's
nice.
looking
Those
at
are
that Buick Enclave. It's
Buicks are nice, too.
Frosted, white, tan leather.
Buicks are nice, too.
Captain
That's Tiger
seats.
Woods.
They're very nice.
They're nice.
Saved his life.
They run like a Cadillac.
Saved his life.
Buick saved his life?
I think so.
I don't know what you read, dude.
Remember he got in the car accident, dude?
Yeah. He was going up fast, too.
Fast.
He might have been.
On the other side, you've got Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Cam. They're truly a
Those Rams,
for
too, baby.
everybody. Say out to Danny Boy.
Danny, how you doing?
And Dale.
Dale, goddamn, boy.
And Kenny.
Kenny, the fuck you doing, Kenny? They're good people out there, man.
What
Troy,
car
Missouri.
would you recommend?
I like those GNC Denali's, dude.
GMC, yeah.
Yeah, GMC Denali's.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Club cab,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful rims.
Yeah.
It's fucking nice.
Dodge trucks.
Big Dodge Rams. Hell yeah. If you're a shit kicker, man, you want the big Dodge for your farm.
Chrysler minivans.
Listen.
No, if you need a minivan.
Hell yeah. And they're cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get a big SUV, they're expensive. They're $110,000. You get like a Wagoneer or something like that. They're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But minivans, they're not as expensive.
Get a
and if
Jeep.
you got kids, man, I
Get
know
a
they're
Jeep.
nerdy looking, but so what?
Cam used to chirp Jeeps. Now he's driving one.
Oh, I get it for free. They're pretty nice. Listen, I drove that Jeep 80 miles in ice, and I was safe as fuck.
Really?
Yes, twice. Remember the 2 shit storms we had? I had that Jeep, and I had to go 80 miles.
You hear that? You drive that Jeep in ice, and it's safe.
Now, listen.
No. It's safe.
Ice is never safe for anybody. But when I had to go back to this fucking studio and back 4 times on an horrible icy day, I was safe. I got there safe. I had to go slow as shit. You always got to stay back fucking 20 yards, man. I don't care if somebody's on my ass, dude. Like, I'm driving slow.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to stop. I don't care what kind of vehicle you have. You have a goddamn Hummer.
Yeah.
You have a fucking tank. If you're on ice, you're still slipping. So that Jeep did me right, man. I got home safe. I did.
Ice on my wrists.
Ice on my wrist, baby. Oh, yeah, what up?
All right, man. Kelly Chase, dude.
Kelly Chase, check this out.
Awesome.
Love all you guys.
Awesome conversation. We love all our sponsors, man.
Damn right.
And appreciate all their support. First Form, Hat Launch, Bellman.
Yeah.
IRC. Illinois Recovery Center, man. Listen, support the sponsors. It's
Help us out with that.
important. And, of course, Spark Skate Sharpeners as well.
Keep
Everybody.
this going. Help us keep this going.
Kelly Chase, dude. Unbelievable conversation. Sit back.
My boy.
And crack one open and enjoy. Chaser on the Chemistry Podcast. The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/CamandStrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/CamandStrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview. What's up?
Not my weight for a change. God, that's down a little bit. Actually, I might be the only guy that went in for chemo and put on a few pounds the second round. So
People bringing you food left and right.
yeah, it was great. The whole outreach was unbelievable. Just the hockey community alone was just stunning. It was like what, and like guys that I was an asshole to.
Mm-hmm.
on the ice and, it's reaching out. I actually didn't know if I was being punked a few times. And then, I'd reach out and say thanks. And they're like, yeah, you're probably not going to hear from my winger, but, because you were a dick to him too. But anyway, I feel fortunate that there's so many people. And then in St. Louis, got so many friends and it's been unbelievable.
Are you hungry? You got to force it down a little bit?
Nah, I wasn't hungry at all at first. I mean, I was probably 260, 258. I went to 198 pounds. And then I'm back up to 215. And I think when you're in there and you just don't feel like anything. I've said this before. It's the first time in my life I thought I needed help. Like I couldn't help myself. So, the first couple of days, you're like, you don't even know what the hell. I talked to you about this, Cam. Like, we love fighting, or we don't necessarily love it, but we're not afraid of it. We're never afraid of it. But you always knew what you were fighting. Like, you could look around a bar, even if assholes were going to start something with you, and you could say, I don't want to do this, or I'm going to try and avoid a situation, or know when you were going to jump the situation because you already knew it was coming. But this situation, you don't get a jump on. And you don't know how big the guy is, and you don't know how tough he is, and you don't know what hand he throws with, and you don't know if he can take a punch. And you don't know any of that shit. So you're just like, so here I was. I have this, and I've said this, you guys have heard it on other things probably, but I have this saying where I say, you got to read the paper. Just read the paper. Because when we play cards on the plane, we face the front of the plane. The doors of the captain's, of the pilots are open. You see the captain reading the paper. We hit turbulence, and he just keeps reading the paper. Shit, you just go back to card game, right? You just go back to card game. But if he hits turbulence and he starts reaching for seatbelts and air masks, you're like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And you start panicking. So I want to be the guy in the house that just reads the paper because I'm the leader of the house. I have 3 boys and it's the first time I think I was telling them that hey, I'm just reading the paper. And I wasn't believable, So they came in to surprise me and they got a surprise.
It's like when the flight attendants are going up and down the fucking alley. You're
Yeah,
like,
you
shit.
you always read the flight attendant.
Yeah.
Hey, what's it like for years? You see people who get sick.
Yeah.
And you're going to visit them.
Yeah.
And you're bringing them food and whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like you're on the other side. You always wonder you probably don't think about it. Will I ever be on the other side? All of a sudden now you're the guy that people are coming and you're getting the standing ovations on the Jumbotron and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. You don't think about it, but when you're in there, you're like, holy. And then there's a couple things and it sounds arrogant to say it, but we're not the norm. If you went in there, you wouldn't be the normal person in there. And that's no disrespect to the people in there, but you've taken your body to a whole place that he's never done and that other people have never done. And it's you go in there and you go in with this attitude that I'm going to beat this thing. Because if they tell you need shoulder surgery and you're going to be out 8 weeks, you're telling them you're going to be back in 4. Because that's how your mind, that's what you tell yourself. So when I drag a Peloton in there and the doctor's like, what the fuck are you doing? You'll be laying under that in 3 days. You want to bet? And I ride it 24 days in a row and I do 100 push-ups a day. Take me all day some days. Sometimes I could do 5 at a time, but I did 100. Then I did 100 sit-ups, and I tried to walk 7 to 10 miles with Bo, with my bag of drip in the hospital because I'm not staying in there. I don't want to be in there. But you see all these people around you, and they're sick, and you feel bad. So you end up caretaking them. There was people that I would talk to everybody. I would try and make people feel good. I would go in a room and sit with Blues fans, and it was just maybe therapy for me because I had already done this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But it also was a time killer. Not to name drop it, but a good buddy of mine, college, Caruth, good friends with Lance Armstrong. And I said, hey, do you mind? I had Lance's number, but I said, do you mind if I reach out to Lance? He goes, I'm with him right now. Just, of course, he'd love it. So I reached out to him, chatted for a while, and then we started talking about the bike. I said I brought the Peloton, and I'd read his stuff, where he goes, no, I didn't ride it for the chemo. I rode it for sanity because that's what I did. Because I got on that thing and I rode it like a 6-year-old when I was just done my chemo. And then as I was building up, I ended up 120 miles in a day, but it was back to where then I knew I was going in for another treatment because I was getting my energy back. They knocked the shit out of you again. He goes, I did it for sanity. Well, what happened with me was I think I did it for that reason, or I started out doing it for the, hey, I think it'll help. It turned out for me, I think it got me out of there a month early. The whole story about, Twister with coming to get me in the hospital, it's a true story. But at the end of the day, like, I couldn't be there any longer. I was losing it. I was having, and they talk about chemo fog and chemo brain, and like it does work on you, and you have I don't want to say bad thoughts, but you have like, am I going to die thoughts?
Yeah.
Right. And so it works on you a little bit, and it's usually when you're alone. And so, I was just having one of them days, and I think what happens is for me, I could have that therapy of going in and knowing that kid behind me is 23 years old and is kind of quitting, needs to see me tomorrow. So I was like, I'm going in her room again tomorrow, or I'm going down the hall to talk to this guy, or this fireman's having trouble, or, I was in a lady's room that didn't get the best news. Huge Blues fan, took her a jersey. She didn't get the best news the other day. And I'm going to tweet out something to her because, this trial that she just was on didn't work. So they're going to have to try something else. It means, look, when you go in there, you check a box for the next 6 months. You don't have a life for 6 months. That's where you go. You go in there and so that part of what you just asked me of being in there and being on that side of it, I think being on this side of it where we go and help people helped me when I was in there, because I was able to at least understand with people a little bit of what they were going through and know, like, there's nobody riding a bike in there. There's nobody doing push-ups in there. There's nobody doing sit-ups in there. They might take an extra sofa in there or a Game Boy.
No, they're not moving around.
But they're not moving.
No.
So what your doctors, they think you're like they probably had never seen anything like you.
Well, my doctor's unbelievable.
Like, are you
Ramsey
busting out
Abu-
of there? Like, are you saying, hey, I want to go home, and they're saying no, and then you call
Yeah.
He
Twister?
called fucking
and
Twister,
so
baby.
Twister, like, is that
Well,
a
not really.
Is he allowed to do that?
He's allowed to do a lot of things.
He's Ray Donovan, man.
Yeah.
He is.
He is Ray Donovan. He is, listen, I don't care who they're like, guys will have a few cocktails. He's a guy you call in the middle of the night when you're really in trouble. Bullshit. Yeah, I got 5 guys in my hand, and I'm lucky to have 5 that I would even think might, and I know one for sure, and he's a 3 a.m. guy.
100%.
100%. Guys are full of shit when they say that, oh, I would, or other guy. Yeah, you would until your wife taps you on the shoulder and says, the police are going there too. Oh, wait, I got 3 kids. This fucking guy showing up every time. And I phoned him, and I had a breakdown in the shower, and it was 11 at night, and I just called him. I said, hey, you got to get me out of here. Like, I was crying. I was hyperventilating, and I got out of the shower, straightened myself. I go, you got to come get me. He goes, what's the matter? I said, get me out of here. I need you to get me out of here. I'm losing my mind. He goes, what's the matter? And I said, I don't know. But I said, I got to get out of here. You can come and get me. And all he said was, are you hooked up to anything? And I said, nope. And he said, I'll be there in 25 minutes.
Had you gotten out of the hospital yet? Had you been in there from like the time you checked yourself in? Had you been out yet or no at this point?
No. Losing my mind.
So he just walks in and...
Well, no, he doesn't, because I phone him back 15 minutes later and turn him around and say, it's a bad time. Come tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Because the doctors will see me and we'll get the hell out of here.
Yeah. How does that work? Like, can you leave? You have to be released? Like, if you're
you got to be discharged, man.
Dude.
You can't leave the
just
floor.
leave.
Yeah.
You ever, like, what was your, like, family saying? Like, you gotta...
I didn't tell my. What are you, stupid?
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
tell your
yeah,
family.
you're
You
not
don't
telling
home and tell your wife.
What's wrong with you?
That's the difference between you and me. I'm not going to tell my family shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and tell them that they let me go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
it was
I got you.
not really thinking, but it's not a good plan. It wasn't a good plan. But he shows up in the morning, and he's ready to go. And he said, what do I need to do? And I said, you need to bring a truck because I got this Peloton. And you need
Peloton.
And you need 2 hockey bags.
He's going to carry the Peloton
And he goes,
out.
2 hockey bags. I go, yeah, they brought all this Christmas shit in here. And I shouldn't say it like that, but they brought all this Christmas stuff in here. a tree that folds down, and they think I'm staying here for Christmas. I'm not going to be here for Christmas.
So this is right before Christmas.
This is the 22nd of December.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
And he goes, you're not going to be in there? And I go, get me out of here, man. I can't be in here. So I've packed everything up, taken the lights down. People sent baskets. I've condensed it into stuff that makes sense. And I've got it all laying on this love seat. He comes in with 2 hockey bags, and he's got the things to take it out of the cart to take it out of there. Throws me the bags. We pack up the bags. He's dressed accordingly to get out of there and says, go down the employee elevator here. Go down the employee elevator. Walk through by the coffee shop. Go up the stairs, the escalator. You see that truck down there? I'm on the 10th floor. You see that truck? Pardon me, 8th floor. He goes, you see a truck out there? That's my truck. It's one of our service trucks. Got the hoist down. He's got pylons around it. His flashers on in the emergency loop. He goes, go get in that truck, and I'll be out there. And I said, the doctor's not here yet. He goes, what? I go, the doctor's not here. He goes, I don't know how we're getting this thing out of here without somebody seeing me. Go get a sheet. So I take my bedding off because I'm leaving anyway, because, so I put everything in the soiled sheets, and I put the sheet over the Peloton. And then he takes the bags and goes and comes back. And he comes back, and he's just got his beanie on, standing all, twister, intimidating, big, tilted back, built like a brick shit house.
Still.
And he's standing there, and he says, the doctor walks in. And the doctor has promised me if I hit my numbers, I can get out. But he's at a seminar somewhere. So 2 days earlier, I've hit my numbers. And I've done all my stuff. I needed 2,400 push-ups. I've done 2,800. I need 2,400 sit-ups. I've done 2,800. I need 7 miles a day of walking in there. I've done 8.5 miles a day of walking. I've done 30 minutes minimum of Peloton up to 45 minutes. I'm done. And I got my numbers. I went out. But I could have been out on the 20th. But I'm having these irrational thoughts, and I'm saying, get me the fuck out of here, because I'm going to lose my mind. If I'm in here, and I'm supposed to be out, and I'm saying in my mind, I'm supposed to be out. So the doctors that are coming in to see me, they're in fellowship. They're like, well, we can't discharge you. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be in here. If I got my, where's, so they're telling me Ramsey's at this seminar. So he comes in, and I go, oh, look who came back when the work's done. Look at this. And Twister's standing in there, right, to around the corner. And he comes like, I know, I heard you've been, and he's unbelievable. First of all, brilliant, cares about his patients, cares about me, been unbelievable in my family.
He know who you were and everything?
No, which is a whole different story.
No.
But he says, I know, and he goes through the spiel with me, right? Okay, I was at a seminar. I go, okay, well, you didn't keep your word. He goes, what? I go, you didn't keep your word. And he looks over and he sees Twister. He goes, hey, Ramsey Aboud. Twister goes, Tony. Stands like this. He goes, were you a hockey player, Tony? Nope.
Ray Donovan.
Just stands there. And now he's kind of looking at Twister like, uh-oh, right? And so he goes, well, I'm going to discharge you today. I go, are you, though? Are you really going to discharge me, or is this another charade? And he goes, no, I'm going to get you out of here today, or something like that. Are you good with that? And I go, I'm good with it. He goes, Tony, you good with it? He goes, oh, I fucking knew he was leaving today. I just didn't know how we were getting his bike out of here without anybody seeing. And so it was God's on. So he just grabs the bike, because at that point, he's like, well, your wife can come and get you now. I don't need to take you out of here. So we don't need to say anything to anybody. So he takes the bike, and he's gone. He's gone to my house. He's taking and unpacking all my stuff. So my sons come. They're helping. They're like, oh, hey, Dad, oh, you're going, what? You're going home? So now I'm going to get discharged. I get discharged. Nobody says anything. Great Christmas, 27th December, go in for a bone biopsy. And he spills the beans to Ray Lynn. Basically throws me under the bus. And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck? And she gives it to me. She's like, he goes, yeah, I'm going to discharge you. You're going to have no immune system. You're going to have no white blood cell count, no platelets. But I'll just let you go home. What's the difference? The big guy will just come and haul you out of here anyway. Like, basically, like, hey, you smarten up. And Ray Lynn's giving it to me. So I'm like, all right, so I know I got to be in more than 7 days of chemo, right? Anyways, I do say to him after, hey, next time you doctors go to a seminar, one thing you guys should implement is a little talk amongst you where you don't have to run home and tell your wives everything. Because that's not what our fucking hockey players do. Because he goes, what's wrong with you hockey players? Because you don't have the flu, you got leukemia. Like, and he was right. I mean, everybody was right. Everyone was right.
He was. Yeah.
I was in the wrong. But no one can question Tony Twist about whether or not he's coming to help you. If he says, hey, I got your back, you're in, man.
You goddamn right.
Yep.
Hey, so when it first started, and I talked to Tony Granado the other day on the radio show, and he was talking about it. But like, what did you feel exactly? Where you're like, God damn it, something's off. Like, what was it? Like, was it just fatigue, or was it something else?
It was fatigue, and it was inflammation. Like, I had an infection in my mouth, and I had an infection in my knee and my ankle. And they were telling me I had gout in my knee and ankle. But my tooth wouldn't tighten up around an implant. I went to a doctor who was really smart, Trish Herford, and I said, hey, I need, a friend of mine, Gina Gamblin, recommended you, and yada, yada, yada. And I went there, and I said, I don't know what's wrong with me, but something's wrong because I can't get rid of this swelling in my mouth, and then I'm getting surgery on Monday. And I go, and I can't get rid of this inflammation in my leg, and it's pissing me off because I can't have a normal. Every morning I get up, I limp. It's painful. It's really painful.
Just your right leg?
Yeah, my knee and my ankle. And I go, they telling me that it's gout. Ooh. And I go, and I don't think it is because I've been taking these pills and they don't do anything. And like I'm not drinking. I'm not like all the things they said to quit. I quit, and I don't know what the hell's wrong. And so if you've quit for 2 months and all the things you're supposed to do, 2 months is a long fucking time not to feel any difference. So she goes, let me do some tests. So she did some tests. Monday morning, I'm in there, just walking in to Dr. Paul Pence, who fixed me, and she wasn't happy with, but that's okay. That's a difference of opinion in doctors, and he's unbelievable. He said, we got to take this thing out. You got all this infection in there. I'm going to take it out. Because otherwise you're going to get a blood infection. The tooth, the implant.
Yeah,
that's
my dentist too, by the way.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, and you got a bone spur up there. We're gonna take that. We're gonna pack cadaver bone up in there, put this in, and let it grow back around your jawbone, and eventually we'll put another implant in. But you're gonna have to get this cut out. Meantime, she's texting me, "Do not get that surgery," and I'm like, "Call me." She's on a plane coming from Austin. She goes, "I can't. I'm on a plane. Do not get that surgery done." So then her assistant or nurse calls. So Paul, we weigh the decision, take this thing out. So we take it out. Meantime, my phone's off. I come in the lobby after it's done. I'm, sewed up and going to be healed because and I've got a furlough from the hospital for an hour and a half. So he's done it in an hour and a half when nobody's there because I can't be in contact with people and have my immune system compromised. So he's done this thing. Meantime, I get up in his chair and I tear my patella tendon off my kneecap.
Jesus Christ.
Because your tendons get really brittle.
Yeah.
So now I don't know it at the time, but I end up in a wheelchair for 2.5 weeks. So I get in the car, Raylan's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I said, I don't know. I blew my knee out. So anyways, it became this joke where I got back to the hospital. Ortho people looked at me. Back up, Trish. Pissed off at me. Are you bleeding? I go, no, I'm not bleeding. She goes, you're not bleeding at all? And I go, you don't know me very well. I'm not a bleeder. I don't bleed. I go, I'm not bleeding. I'm fine. She goes, go to Siteman's. So I went to Siteman. I'm like, what am I going to the cancer thing for? So I don't like your blood work. So I go there, and I'm thinking, well, I'd had this prostate cancer, and maybe something returned or whatever. I go in there, blood, hour and a half. I get in. Now I'm in with the doc. The doc walks in. A couple people walk. A couple other doctors. And he goes, "Are you? You think you got gout?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "You don't have gout." But first, he introduces himself, and he says, "I'm Ramsey Abood. I'm going to be your physician." And he goes, "I want you to know that I don't know anything about hockey, and I don't know anything about you. I know zero about it, and I'm sorry." I said, "I don't care." And he said, "But these two people right here seem to think you're the toughest guy that walked on soil in St. Louis. And 20 people on the other side of the wall are going to act professional when you leave here. And they're concerned. So I'm going to make you better. Are you good with that?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, and now he hasn't said, he goes, "Well, you got, AML, which is acute myeloid leukemia. And that means you have aggressive leukemia. And we're going to make you better." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "We're going to sit here and make a plan. And we've talked about it. And I think you're a great guy for a trial we're doing. And, I think I'd recommend it, but it's up to you. You can go down a couple paths." And I said, "Listen, if you're going to make me better, then that's the deal." And he asked if I wanted to know any statistics or analytics on it. And I said, "No." And he goes, "Do you want to call anyone?" And I said, "No." He said, "Well, I see you're married. You don't want to call your wife?" I said, "No, because she's in Phoenix, and let's make a plan and we'll have this conversation." And he goes, "Okay." So he goes, "You want to know?" Like, so he's asking about dad. I said, "I don't care about any of that. Don't tell me that. I don't care. Is there winners and losers? Winning team, losing team?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "I'm on the winning team. That's all. That's all that matters." And he goes, "Okay, if you want to know," I go, "I'll give you some statistics. 3,970 players played one game or more in the NHL in 120 years. 3,970 players played one game or more in the NHL in 120 years. Of the millions and millions and millions of parents that think their kid's going to the NHL, 4,000 have gone to the NHL. 4,000 for you parents, okay? Don't be fucking stupid." And so there's a stat. I go, "You think I got a better chance of beating this?" And he's smiling. He goes, "I like your attitude." That was it. We never talked about any of that other shit ever again. Ever.
When was this? When were you diagnosed?
17th of November, I think.
So right when that happens, what do you do? So when he tells you this shit,
Well, so now I'm in there and I've got this tooth taken out, and she's all worried about. And now he goes, "Okay, we're going to make a plan, and we're going to put you in 9 days. We're going to put you in the hospital, start chemo. So you got 9 days to cancel everything for the next 6 months." Well, I got a bone biopsy the next day, Tuesday. I got an infection in that area on Wednesday, and on Thursday I'm in the hospital, and life's changed. Boom, you're not going anywhere. Got in there. What started out as a little cyst on my ass from the whatever turned into a huge mass in kind of the cheek of my left cheek of my ass, and they had to do surgery. But they didn't realize when they first checked it and what had happened the 4 days till I got into surgery was a big change. So I went in there and I wasn't very pleasant, I guess, when I come out, but the anesthesia had wore off and they had to redo some stuff from what I understand. Obviously you're out of it. And I had a little problem with my heart and defibbed and everything. So they whacked me out a couple times and got me going and then brought me up and said we had some complications. And of course I wasn't very happy because I've been telling them for 4 days, "Look, I'm not a pain expert, but this is the worst fucking pain I've ever been in my life. Like, you guys have got to do something." And I think because, you're in the cancer ward and another tower is where they operate and do everything else. They're not checking on me. They just think, "Look, we checked. He's got a cyst. We're going to lance it, sew it up. Everything's good. Drain it, sew it up. It's no big deal." Well, by the time I get in to get a bed, like get an operating table, this is Friday. This is Tuesday. Big difference. And it caused my heart to stop.
Wow.
So I've gone through that. Now I got to wait 48 hours more for chemo, and because of heart complications, and then so it's all these things that people go through that have it, that are these side effects that happen to you. And so I was just kind of out of it for, I'd say I was out of it for seven days, and then I got the kids to bring the Peloton in, and then the 10th day I think I started moving, and I think 24 days I was pretty good.
So what is a chemo? So what do they do when they give you chemo?
Yeah, you got the ports, right? So they go right in your heart, right?
Okay.
And then they go in, and then they just hook you up to a bag, and it takes about 3.5 hours for the drip to come, and you do it at 8 in the morning to 11:30, and then you do it 8 at night to 11:30, and you'll go on a regimen of like say 5 to 7 days. They give you this push, what they call it. It's like a Gatorade, thick Gatorade, orange Gatorade, and they literally push it down into you, and what it does is it opens up your blood vessels.
Yeah.
So they can watch the chemo work, and they can see that it's
like a dye that they do.
Yeah.
Does that hurt? Is it uncomfortable?
None of it hurts. No. No, but like when you get I'm not a big pain med guy for reasons of, knowing what's going on with the opioid addiction in our league and everything, and being the chairman of the NHL alumni, I've kind of had to, a real wake up call, watch what's going on. So I've tried to stay out the pain meds, but when you get a pain med in here, it's unreal. It's, why guys do it in there because it's instant. It's just like it goes over you and you're like, okay, done.
It's fucking heroin,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So like, it's funny because I honestly, I went in there not knowing what the hell I was fighting. I didn't know like I said, how big this guy was. Guy's big, and
He's 6'8",
he's
throws both.
6'8" and throws with both hands. And
Mhm.
and so you keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and finally the 6'8" gets tired a little bit. And that's where we got him right now, So you just cuff off the elbow pad now and just start drilling him. And I'm in remission, and I got one round left, and I'll I did the 4th round knowing it was in remission, and I'll do a fifth, my last round after the game here that we're.
Is
You
your
know,
immune
same game.
system like where's it at now?
Well, it's going down. Like so when I went in this time, I was in 4 nights, 5 days, whatever. It's on my way down right now. So like within the next 4 days, it'll be as low as it'll get. And then you build it back up, and then by the 7th of April, when I go back in, it should be humming again. You hope.
What were the doctors like? Because you're going to Toronto All-Star Weekend. Like, was that against doctors' orders?
No.
Were you okay to be traveling?
thinking that
and,
too.
Well, they
and
didn't
doing
love it.
that?
And a lot of the
How are you getting there? Like commercial flight? Like, I mean, are you okay?
Yeah, but now I want to say my buddy Bob Ham gave me his plane from Saskatoon back down south after I went up and surprised my son last week. He gave me his plane to come down, and what a generous man. Ham Construction, Saskatoon. That's your next sponsor.
Wow.
We got a lot of people.
That's his first
We
library.
got a lot of people up there listening.
We'll do a deal.
No shit.
So Bob Ham gave me his plane. Other than that, I flew commercial. But listen, I had to get out of town for my sanity, not just for my good.
Yeah.
So like I think a lot of times the doctor had to go in and tell the group, just leave him alone. He's okay. He's gonna be okay. He's not the norm.
Yeah.
And I was careful. I try to sit at the front of the plane. I wore masks. Which I hate. I think are a con in the first place.
Cam wears one
And then
pretty often on the show.
And then I tried to be responsible. And the big thing was he said, just make sure you're washing your hands and clean your hands. That's the big thing. And then I would I went to Vegas for our meetings. I stayed on property. We went off one night. I left before dinner. I want to say Hully took me home both nights early. He went to bed. He's like worried about me. So he came back.
This is Brett Hall?
Brett Hall, right. He came back with me to the hotel. Didn't eat. Just said, hey, I'm going to make sure he's okay. And I'm like, I'm going to be okay. And he's like, no, I'm coming with you. So he came back both times. We stayed out by our property, out by Summit, which is Discovery's property. And I mean, I went to bed early both nights, like 9:30 one night, 10 o'clock the next night. Got an early flight out of there, come home, was there for the meetings. Same thing, and I didn't stay for All-Star Weekend. I don't know if you noticed that, but like I went there for the Alumni Association meetings, which I thought were really important. And I went there for the meetings. I went out on the ice Thursday for the presentation of 67 team, which I was grateful I got to go out with Heels and those guys, because it was and I got Shaky Walton, who I've known since I came in the league, and I got to give him his award. So that was pretty cool. And then I left. I went to the Hall of Fame. I made my speech at the Hall of Fame thing for the alumni, and I left Thursday night. So for me, I came in Tuesday late night, got out of there, and went back to St. Louis and made sure I was close to the hospital. So, I went up to Saskatchewan and surprised my son, but I was at a really good point of my treatment, like just before I was going in for my 4th round. So I knew so they checked all my numbers and everything. They knew I was strong. So I went up there, and you hit the ground and it's 37 below zero. You're like, fuck, they choose to live up here. So, and I ended up, getting to surprise him. And I was with my older son, Will, came too. It was great. And then my friend flew me back. So have I taken a couple chances? Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're going to get sick. You're going to get sick.
Yeah.
You're going to find a way to get sick. It's just the way it is. And
Get sick at the fucking hospital.
you can get hit by a car walking across the fucking
shit.
street. So
How was your energy level when you're giving that speech? Were you fucking like, God, I gotta get the fuck up somehow, or because you feel like you have energy right now?
The worst part about it is holding my emotions back even now.
Yeah.
Like it's sobering, Like
Oh yeah, it is.
you have a lot of how do you say it? A lot of people you want to thank. Like you really do. You don't know how to express yourself like I started writing down. I got on a plane the other day, and I started writing down guys that that had reached out to me. So not just hockey players, but guys that had reached out to me. So I started writing this list down. I write this list down. And I go one page, and on the same page, I write down the whole page. So there's 50, 100, 150. I get to 600, and I'm at December 1st. I go in the hospital on November 17th. I have 600 people I have to respond to. It's fucking December 1st. We are now in, right? We're in March. And so I got these people. Now I got to go through the list and cross-section the list, but I can't tell you how many people have reached out that I just am so grateful for. And so from an emotional standpoint, I'm on here talking with you guys, and it's hard because,
People fucking love you, man.
I'm
It's
lucky.
a goddamn good feeling.
I'm lucky.
How the boys doing?
They're doing great. They're doing great. Now I'm believable again. Now I'm reading the paper again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now Dad's back. And Will was, he stepped up. He was unbelievable. Like, you want to talk about a kid taking charge of a
he's your
household.
oldest, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he completely took charge. And it was funny because he came in the hospital. He told the doctor, listen, I know how he operates, so you're going to have to kick people out of here. He wouldn't do it. So then he wouldn't kick people out right away. The doctor wouldn't. Then he wrote an email, I guess, to the alumni, and I don't know if you saw it. If you want to talk to my dad, call me. If you want to come to see my dad, call me. And of course, I was left off the list.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he said, the hell did he say to? He came in. They had the visual thing at Basilica, and there was a bunch of guys in my room. And Will walked in. He goes, "Hey, guys." They're like, "Will." They hadn't seen him for 6 months or whatever. All talking to him. He puts his backpack down, takes off his jacket, sets it down. And he goes, "Sorry, I'll be right back." Comes back with the doctor. And he goes, "Guys, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." He goes, "The doctor needs to talk to my dad." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" So now all my buddies pile out of the room. Krogan, like all these guys are piling out of my room. Jimmy O'Brien, like all heading out. Wachter, heading out, Peel. And the rooms, and he goes to the doc. He goes, either you get some security and stop people from coming in here, or I'm going to get some. Because this fucking guy will have 26 in here tomorrow, and he'll be cooking for him.
Well, good for
Well,
him,
then-
man.
And he goes, "I'm done. I'm telling you." And the doc's like, "Well, he goes, I didn't realize." And he goes, "Just straighten it out."
Yeah.
You need a bouncer out there.
But were you getting overwhelmed with people coming in?
No, I
Like,
didn't
did
give
you
a
like
shit.
having people there? Or
I
was
didn't give a shit. Because there was times where I did some really stupid shit in there too, because I was on narcotics and I didn't know what I was
Yeah.
doing, and said some stuff to people that,
Yeah.
and I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
And there was guys in there that said, "No, you did that." Like, when they came in to ask me if I had hurt myself and stuff like that, I basically told them, "We're raising the biggest generation of pussies there ever fucking was, and get the fuck out of the room." And I've offended these ladies, and I don't even know that I said it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, and so they leave, and then I find out what I said, and I asked the lady, "Could you ask them to come back? Because I want to apologize," and they won't come back.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's the worst. You can't even
Oh,
say
no.
sorry.
well, they should know though, right?
Well, she says they deal with it all, and I'm
Yeah,
like, "But they're not coming back." I'm like, "Well, fuck."
What was the?
They'll be okay.
Well, I'm not worried about
They'll
it
be
now
okay.
because honestly, I don't remember doing it. I don't remember
It's
it.
not you.
Yeah.
Well, it is me, but I'm thinking it. I wouldn't say it. It is me. That's what I'm thinking.
Sometimes you're you whenever
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
not you.
Like I have a shirt that my friend got me just now. It said,
Yeah.
"I'm not for everybody.
What do you tell your
Shit.
What do you tell your family? Like when all this goes down?
I'm gonna be all right." You just say, "Hey, hang in there." I just don't. I didn't know what the fuck I was fighting yet.
And they were able to like.
I don't know what the hell. I know the first time, because even when I went to the game,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to go to the game on the 22nd.
I was gonna ask
That,
you.
was- that was Gretz bullied me, him
Yeah.
and Caruso.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I knew when I went to the game, I fucking knew it. And I got out of the car and they didn't recognize me. And then they recognized me and you could see the look on their face. And then I got down by the elevator, I got down by security, and they didn't recognize me. And then they started crying. And then in the elevator they're crying. And then in the hallway on the way to the suite. And I'm there after the game
Who
starts.
you talking about? Your kids?
No,
No,
the
everybody that works
security,
there.
everybody that's
Security,
working there,
everybody
people
there,
are
yeah,
walking
They're there
by.
for 20 years.
And I'm saying, they're scared of me.
Yeah.
Or they're scared. And Raylan's like, "They're not scared." And I'm like, "They're scared." And Twister's with, he's the one, he's like, "Raylan." I said, he goes, just, like basically calm down. He goes, And I said, listen, I made a living out of knowing when fucking people are scared.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared. They're not scared of me. They're scared for me
Mm-hmm.
because they think this is this tough guy that walked around here for however long,
Right.
and he's dying. He's fucking dying. Look at him. And Twister basically said, like, they're scared. They're scared for him.
Mm.
And it's true. They were.
When did your appearance start to change? Like shaving the head and all
Yeah,
that shit.
you know what? One day you're going to lose your hair. And then I'm like, I might be the guy that doesn't lose his hair, right?
No,
And,
that
and I
thick
was
ass
laying
fucking
yeah,
hair
I
you
was,
got.
I was laying in bed.
Where is that hair, by the way? Because
Yeah, I
I
know.
need some on the back of my fucking head.
I was laying in bed and I go, I'm not going to lose my hair. And I went like this and pulled at it.
Oh,
It's just
And it
coming
just
out?
came out. And I went, oh. So I phoned home and said, hey, you better bring the clippers over here. I go, my hair's falling out.
Mhm.
And then we just shaved it. I mean, it's actually growing back a little bit, to be honest with you. I got whiskers for the first time.
yeah.
I got,
You're like
I, had,
Andy.
I had to cut my, I had whiskers for the first time or just the hair. And I cut my fingernails the other day, which I haven't had to do since I went in because you don't grow
don't
them,
grow.
right? They don't grow. So the hair falls off your body, whatever. So now I'm getting some whisker. Like I shaved the other day and I was laughing. I was like, I don't miss not shaving.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now I got some whiskers growing back, so I know that my blood's strong and
Get that goatee back.
everything's good.
What do you
Yeah.
like when you're going through this? Like, what do you reflect on the most? Like, you start thinking about your childhood. You start thinking about like
Nah.
you go back to.
Not really. I don't know I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to miss any more of the kid shit,
Mhm.
and I don't want to leave them. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss Lukey fucking bagging
Yeah, he
guys
can
up.
fight, eh?
Holy fucking
He
A.
knocked a kid out the other night. It was fucking.
Did he really?
He hit the kid, and the helmet went about around the dasher out into by the blue line. And I said to Will, "Oh, I wonder if his head's still in there." And I shouldn't say that about youth hockey.
Yeah,
Is
it's
he,
okay.
is he the
It's
toughest
okay.
of your three boys?
Not close.
No,
I knew that from the get-go.
Not even close.
Yeah, he's the biggest.
And he's such a nice, gentle
Yeah,
kid.
he is.
Like he really is. You gotta. What's funny is that I actually talked to him one day about, like I said, he goes, you just want me to just go grab some guy? And I said, no, I wanted you to grab the fucking goalie. Like I want you to make a point, because if you guys are gonna stink like that, you got to make a point.
Yeah.
Like fuck, he goes, Dad, you can't do that anymore. And I'm like, I'm just telling you, like, you're gonna get, like, the noticeable part of your game is more that part. He has improved, and he is such a good hockey player right now that you'll see. We're gonna have a little surprise at the game
Yeah.
with him, but he's 6'4.5" and can skate, and he can just play.
Well, what do you like? What do you think when you see this, like Matt Rempe? Like, I'm curious, like your guys' opinion of
Yeah.
a player like that coming into the league.
I wanna
and
help
what
him.
does that do for
That's
young?
what I said,
well, what does
dude.
that do for younger players too? To feel
Yeah,
like,
no,
hey,
I
listen,
know.
I can still.
Yeah, and
bring
you know what?
this
And you know what? Like,
element.
like you watch a couple of the guys from the Rangers that got sent down that were on one ways. He took their job.
Mhm.
He took their job. He didn't get their job. He took their job.
Yep.
Because they didn't want to do what it took to stay in the league. Now, I wish someone would teach the kid how to hold on just to protect himself a bit.
Yes.
Because I don't want him to be that kid that ends up Bambi-legged. I don't want him to end up hurt. I don't want him to be like Mike Peluso, who's struggling, who's a great guy.
Yes.
Like, I don't want him to be like that.
Yeah.
And there's a way to fight, especially with that range, that you can really
Yeah.
be a force. But you don't have to get hit. And normally, like, and they talk about the concussions. The concussions are when you get hit in a light switch. You don't get concussion. The concussions, Cam's got given more concussions from hitting guys
Mhm.
than he's ever got from fighting.
Mhm.
100%.
You told me a long time ago. I always remembered it. Like, you may get knocked out once. It shouldn't happen, but you should. If you should never get knocked out twice. And
Well-
if you do, it's on you.
Well, the point of my thing of it is like, you have to change the way you're doing it if that's what's going on all the time. If you're getting hit that much, you're just not doing it right. Like, my whole, when I came in the league, I was trying not to get hit, not trying to hurt somebody. When I figured out how not to get hit, then I started drilling guys.
There you go.
And then when you start realizing, and the longer the fight went, just like you, the better, like, I'm going to win. If you get into a long fight with me, you have no fucking chance.
Mhm.
I'm going to win. I don't care, because I already know how to fight. And I could fight because my dad was a boxer. So we grew up boxing, right? But it's a whole different thing in there. So I knew how I could slip some punches in when I needed to, or do whatever. And I could fight with both hands.
Yep.
So Like I learned all of that as a kid, but when you get out on the ice, it's and all of a sudden, and I didn't have man strength. I come to camp here. Twister's talking about how we're taking everybody's jobs. We. I said, "Fuck, you got a mouse in your pocket?" We, fuck. And then we have to fight all these guys, and they're men, right? And we're just kids, like we're 19-year-old kids. And then you start getting man strength, and then it's different. When you turn 27 and you realize all of the hard bouts were behind you, like all of the shit that happened, you've persevered through it, and now you're 27 and you're like, not only am I capable of fighting, I'm tough, I'm strong, I got man strength now, and I know how to fight. Okay, now you take that out on the ice. I don't give a fuck who got called up, who's a tough guy. You've already handled the guys behind you. All right, the Marty McSorleys and the Bob Proberts, and
Stu.
you've already fucking handled Stu 11 times. Like I fought Stu 4 times on a weekend.
Coaster.
I woke up. I didn't have to fight Joey
No.
because we grew up together. But I
that's
remember
right.
waking up in.
cousins.
I remember waking
They
up
all
in
are.
the. I
No,
remember
all
waking
Saskatoon,
up in the.
Barry Melrose, everybody. You guys are all cousins.
Well, they are. I'm not cousins with Barry, and I'm not cousins with Wendell, and I'm not cousins with
No,
Joey.
no.
We just grew up together. Yeah, well, I'm not cousins with any of them. My cousin was a goalie that played, so it doesn't count. Anyways, Grimson was laying sitting beside the bed when I woke up one day, and I look over and I go, "This is I'd had some sickness stuff with it, swallowing that, and he was in Nashville, right, and I was in Nashville and everything, and we played together in Hartford. So I look at him and I said, now's your fucking chance. You're 0-11. This is the best chance you're gonna have, buddy." And he just
0-11.
started. He just started laughing. He goes, "I'm gonna give you a big kiss right in the lips right now." And it's amazing how your friendships and how you evolve around that. And fighting was part of it. I mean, he was a tough guy, and man, he broke my nose and then elbowed me in the face the next period and pushed it back over because they had sent the doctor over to straighten it. So he knew the doctor went over, and he elbowed me in the face and broke it again. And I fought him again. And then Twister started screaming at him like, and they were buddies from Kamloops. They grew up together, So Twister started barking at him, and it was pretty funny. And it was, I got to tell you this story because it just happened the other day, but guys come into town, and I kind of they surprised me, but I surprised them. A couple guys from junior flew in just to see me. And they're like, "No, we're going to see our captain." Guys I played junior with didn't play pro. But they played with Todd McClellan, and they played so Todd was coaching LA, and this is when he was still with LA. And then Nelly called me and said, "Hey, Berge, Blakey and I'd like to go to dinner." I said, "Oh, we'll just come over to
Nelson
our club."
Emerson, right?
Yeah, Nelson Emerson. So come over to the club. So then I called Twister. I said, "You want to have dinner?" He goes, "Who are we having dinner with?" I said, "Just you and me." He says, "Shh." He goes, "Yeah, I'll come in." So he comes into Carbon, and then who am I missing? That might have been it. The two guys from Saskatoon. Oh no, Trent Yanni's there, right? So Jan's played with the two guys from Saskatoon, and so played with Twister, played with Burr. So everybody's played together except Blakey. A couple of guys have, but Blakey's there. And so we have dinner, and Burge goes, "Hey, Chassar." He goes, "Remember that time that Twister break Rob Ray's face?" And I go, "Yeah, I remember." He goes, "Remember the next year that we go to Buffalo and the big guy," Twister's sitting beside him, he goes, "The big guy is not there, and it's the race for Chase." And I started laughing. I said, "Yeah, I remember, Verge." He goes, "And you tell those guys you fight them all that don't worry, and you elbow Brad May in the face, and then a TV timeout, you said, 'Don't worry, you fuckers, I'll fight with all of you, but the big guy's at home watching on the television, and we got you next week.'" And he goes, "The next thing you know, no fights. Pavel scored 3. We win the game. It's all good." And that's exactly what happened.
Did he
man.
coin that phrase, race for Chase?
No,
Oh.
no, I don't know
Who
who.
did?
I don't know who did, but I've heard it so many times when I was playing. Oh, the race for. I actually heard it from Scotty Walker the first time.
Yeah, tough little fuck, man.
Yeah, tough little fuck. I scored 2 goals in Nashville, and honestly, they were trying to get me the third goal, and him and fucking Denny Lambert are trying to fight with. I think I ended up fighting one of them or something, but it wasn't like I was worried about fighting with one of them. I just literally wanted to get a third. I think in the first period, I think I had, or like within a short amount of seconds, I had 2 goals, 30-some seconds or something. So I scored 2 goals. So I'm like, fuck, maybe there's a chance. And I'm playing with Scotty Young, and we're short of guys, and I'm fucking obviously because I'm playing on the third line, and they got us playing, they got us mixed up and playing, and I'm playing all the time, and I'm like, I'm not gonna, and that's when he said something to me, and I kind of chuckled a little bit, like that's actually pretty funny, the race for Chase, but it's believable because it happened my whole life because I played junior with him too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they Twister was absolutely horrifying, but that's probably it's like some of these tough guys are probably like, because you're in your locker room, like, I got fucking this guy. He's like, okay, fine, I'll get Twister, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ride that bull for fucking 8 seconds, see if you can.
I think there were guys who were just like, fuck it. Like I remember Rob after it happened coming in, and due respect to him, he was at center ice lining up when we got back to St. Louis, and he just said, "Hey guys, you two fuckers leave me alone tonight," because Twister barked, and I remember being in the penalty box with him a couple times, and I'd be in the penalty box yapping at a guy, and they'd fucking be yapping right back, and he'd be in there, and they wouldn't say shit. Nothing. Just sit there face forward.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, because I remember when, like, if we got on somebody, they were getting it. You could participate or you didn't have to, but you're going to get it. I remember that poor Mike Leclerc pushed on the back of Al's legs and dislocated his hip, and Burge fought him right away when it happened in Anaheim. But they came to Anaheim a week later. That kid never slept for 6 nights, I guarantee you. He sure as fuck never slept in the afternoon that day.
Oh.
And we just gave it to him all warm up. And then I ended up giving that to him first, and Twister coming in there. And like he was, and it was like Twister said to me, he goes, "We're not doing this just so that fucking Anaheim knows better. This is a whole league that's got to know not to fucking do that
Fuck
to you."
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and he didn't give it, like, nobody ever went into a fucking game and went, "Geez, I wonder what they'll find me. I wonder what Coley or Berkey are going to find me if I do this." I never thought about that once. What's Mr. Bettman going to say if I cross-check Steve Yzerman from behind? I already knew what the fucking penalty was. It was kosher and Probert.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking go and do it because that's the penalty.
Yep.
So if it was Twist and Chase in St. Louis, I knew what the fine was already.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, you think the whole Anaheim Ducks team knew? They knew what was going to happen. They were fucking scared for the kid. No one fucked around with Al the whole rest of the year. No one went near him.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, and yet there are guys that were in that position, that are in Al's position, that bitched and complained about a guy like Twister taking a spot. Like T.O.'s taking a spot, I fucking can't play, kind of make fun of him. Yeah, till he's not there.
No shit.
And then all of a sudden, it gets a little harder in the corner, it gets a little harder in front of the net. And the best compliment I ever got was when Pavel Buchnevich told us one time when he got to Vancouver, he just said, I fucking hate it. He goes, I can't believe I don't have you and Twister. I hate it. Like he goes, it was so easy.
It'd be a big difference.
Guys are fucking whacking them.
If you have them one day and then you don't have them the next.
Yeah, man.
Hey, how did you and Gretzky become close? And what'd you learn about Gretzky that you didn't know maybe throughout this process in terms of like how good of a friend he is?
I don't know when we really got real close, but I've been doing stuff with him for a long time. And since I retired, or he retired, I've been doing speaking engagements with him and stuff, and we'd known each other from here and through Hully and through different events, and just fantasy camps. But just when I got sick, like, he's unbelievable. He doesn't miss things. Like, there's very few guys. There's him, Garth Brooks, a couple guys that are like that are mega stars that don't miss anything. They can walk down the hallway and turn and go grab that kid in the red jacket back there. I think he's a special needs kid. Go grab him and his dad, bring him back here by the bus. And you'll be like, what fucking kid? And you didn't even see it. And all of a sudden, sure as shit, the kid comes back, he's got autism or some type of special needs, and he's figured it out, and he's got the dad, and he's met him, and now you get a picture and talks to them, and he's unbelievable. And Garth is the same way. Garth will give you 10 hours of meet and greet and hey, you're here, you support the charity, I'm in. Like, and he's unbelievable. And you're just watching this guy. He's legit, man. He's legit.
Normal.
He's
a normal dude. That's gigantic.
And he's legit sincere. Like, sincere to the point of you think it's fake. It's not. And there's mega stars that don't have that personality, and that's okay. But like a guy like Gretz, like, he knows his surroundings. And he he calls you back. Like, I don't even call him. I just text him, give me a shout when you can. Like, I'm not going to call him because fucking who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He calls me back. Hey, what's up? Or call me immediately. Hey, what's going on? How you feeling? Right? You know, like, come to the hospital. Come to the house. You know, hey,
What do you need?
Hey, we're going on a golf trip. We got a plane. You know, like, just, hey, I need you to come and speak. One day he says to me, I need you to do your thing. I go, where? He goes, Grand Prairie, Alberta. I go, Grand Prairie. I go, dude, we're in California. He goes, I know where you are. He goes, stay overnight, get on the plane. We'll go up there. We'll do an event. I'll have you back by the next game. I go, all right, listen, when are we leaving? Where am I going? He goes, just come to the house after the game. I'll give you the, Thousand Oaks. I'll give you the address. So we'll go out to his place. We get on the plane in the morning. We go to Grand Prairie. Well, you stop in Edmonton and go through customs. You don't take out your passport. You just sit there. He just signs a couple autographs. You go back on the plane and you go to Grand Prairie. So we land.
I was just wondering what it's like to be with Gretzky in Edmonton.
It's easier to get through customs than it is with that jackass that runs the country. So
Justine.
yeah. So we end up in a situation where it's now dark and we're in Grand Prairie and we're sitting down having a couple cocktails in the lounge. I go up to my room. Phone rings. He's like, hey, you got to meet me for breakfast. I go, what? He goes, you got to meet me for breakfast. Now I'm done the speech. I'm doing the MC, and I'm going to talk about my nephew played in the Royal Bank Cup here in Grand Prairie. They won a championship in Grand Prairie. Yada yada yada. My nephew played there. He goes, hey, we're not in Grand Prairie. I go, what? He goes, we're not in fucking Grand Prairie. I go, where are we? He goes, we're in Fort McMurray. I go, we're in fucking Fort. Are we supposed to be in Fort McMurray? Where the fuck are we supposed to be? Because I wrote this whole fucking speech down about this epic rink and how they're going to get these proceeds and this shit. He goes, yeah, we're supposed to be in Fort McMurray. I go, Jesus Christ. So we're in I wrote this whole speech for the wrong city, right? So he did it to me one other time. We went to Saskatoon, and he goes, I need you to do this thing. And say, no problem. I'm in. Saskatoon, that's my wheelhouse.
Right.
So he's going to be this guy doing this Kinsman dinner. So in the afternoon, he texts me, he goes, bring your passport downstairs. And I go, why? I go, what? He goes, bring your passport downstairs. We need your passport. I go, for what? He goes, just bring it down here. So I bring it down, and there's this Secret Service. I didn't know we had a Secret Service in Canada, okay? When I saw them throw the pie in the Prime Minister Chrétien's face a long time ago, I figured there's no such thing as Secret Service. I didn't even know there was. Anyways, we got Secret Service. So these guys look over my passport and everything, check me. I go, what's going on? He says, well, I didn't want to tell you because I wanted it to be a surprise, but I got the Prime Minister coming tonight. I'm like, he's coming on stage? Because I'm emceeing. He goes, yeah. I go, Harper's here. He goes, yeah. I go, you fucking kidding me? It's like introducing the president. You don't know he's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, Gretz, for fuck's sakes, what are you doing? So I'm in a panic, and he's like, calm down. You just do your thing. I go, what's my thing? What is my thing? And he goes, just calm down. So I go bolting out of there. I go upstairs. I'm like trying to hammer this thing into what I'm trying to find out information-wise and what's he doing and when's he coming on and what are we doing? So I get it handled, and he calls me at 4 o'clock. We're going to go over. He goes, hey, I got to talk to you. And I go, what? He goes, and he tells me this, and I go, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm giving it to him because he's added another guy to the lineup, right? And I go, what the fuck? So, and he goes, what's the big deal? I go, I don't even know his stats, his this and this. And Gretz goes, stats? He goes, what do you need my stats for? He goes, the most, and the most. How fucking hard can that be? How hard can that be?
Figure it out.
Figure it out. So here's what he did. We introduced the Prime Minister. Prime Minister comes on, okay? So people are like, I go, when I say we have Prime Minister, no one believes that he's there. No one believes he's there. He just comes out the side. Secret Service around the top part of the bowl. Out comes Harper. It was awesome, and you're there and you're like, wow, it's pretty cool, right? And he asks a few questions, and then Harper says to Wayne, when did you start doing these events? And Wayne and Gretz goes, well, he goes, I got to do my first event. I was 11 years old, and I got to do it in Brantford, and my hero was there, Gordie Howe. And everybody cheers because Gordie's from Saskatoon. And he goes, and then when I realized that my hero was bigger than I thought he'd be, better, nicer, he goes, I couldn't believe it. And he goes, I actually cried and couldn't get my speech out because I couldn't believe I was standing by Gordie Howe. And they go, well, yeah, that's great. He goes, you know, I got to thinking. I called Gordy. I said, Gordy, I'm coming to Saskatoon. I go, what do you think? He goes, oh, Wayne, you're going to love the people there. And Gordy was sick. And he said, you're going to love it there. The people are so great. It's such a great place. And he was talking about it. And he said, Gordy, how'd you like to come? He said, no, Wayne, the doctors wouldn't allow that. I can't go to Saskatoon. So Gretz goes, so I phoned the doctor and I said, hey, doc, if I send a plane, do you think maybe, you know, Gordy could come to Saskatoon? He'd be well enough to come to Saskatoon for the night. And Doc goes, yeah, I think we could make that work. And he said, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the greatest player that ever played in the NHL. And this bagpiper come out the side, and out comes Gordie Howe with the bagpiper. So I had to introduce the Prime Minister and Gordie Howe. Last minute, Gretz fucking threw it on my plate. So you want to talk about royalty? Dude. It was unreal. And my buddies were texting me, what the fuck are you doing on stage with these, like, talk about putting earrings on a pig. Like, why are you up there? Fucking get off the stage. And it was unbelievable, like the whole experience. So you talk about Gretz, he just has a feel for the flair of taking care of people. Man, it's unbelievable.
He's the most down-to-earth superstar.
Him and Garth.
They are.
Most unbelievable.
You keep saying Garth. So Garth is like, so people don't really see that side of Garth. They see, you know, hockey fans, they see Wayne a little bit, maybe, you know, on TV and all that. So behind the scenes, Garth is
unbelievable. It's the
Can you go to dinner with? Like, can he go hang out?
I'm going to tell you a funny story about the Blues.
I'm
going to no, everybody recognizes. I'm going to tell you a funny story about the Blues. So I'm in Nashville last year. I think it's a sponsor trip or something, and I cut loose and I go have a beer, and I'm going to have a beer with the guys. So I'm having a beer with the team, and I'm with Shanner, just talking to Shanner for a second, and I cut away. I get a text message from Garth. Where are you? I tell him. He goes, get over to the studio. I'm over at my studio. Come over to the studio. I go, I'm with a bunch of guys. He goes, bring a couple. So I tell Shanner, Shanner, who's the best young kid you want? Who's the best young kid here? He goes, Neighbors. Yeah. Why? And I go, cut him from the herd. Meet me in front. He goes, where are we going? I go, never mind. Just come down. I want to show you something. He goes, Chaser, we got a team meal. I go, don't worry about your fucking team meal. I'll have you back. Come on. So we jump in an Uber. I don't tell him where we're going. We go into Midtown, which is just behind the Gulch, the Music Row, and he's got a studio there. And we walk up to the steps, and Garth walks out, and he hugs me. Hey, big guy. And he goes, Braden Shen. And he goes, Braden, I know you. You got a brother, Luke. Remember you helped out in Saskatoon? And Shenner's like, yeah, whatever. And he goes, how you doing, young man? And Jake goes, good. And he shakes his hand. He goes, you got a name? And Jake goes, he goes, Garth Brooks. And Jake goes, I know.
Yeah,
he knows. He goes, I know. And he goes, you got a name? He goes, Jake. Jake got a last name? He goes, Jake Neighbors, I'm sorry. And the kid was just completely paralyzed, right? Like paralyzed. And then he gets in the studio. He can't fucking believe he's sitting in there. Mm-hmm. He's sitting in the studio, and Garth's just bullshitting with us. And he goes, you guys want to go back and see where Kiss just did a recording thing? And the next thing you know, he's in the back, and they're getting pictures, pretending they're singing on the mic together, and the whole works.
That's funny.
So it was a great experience, I thought, for the kid.
Yeah.
Good on Shenner being a leader, taking him in there. But honestly, like, Garth was so down. They got in the car, and they're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, that's unbelievable.
And Jake didn't even know
he had no
Garth
idea.
In the fucking 90s when he was unbelievable. I mean, gigantic.
Right.
So that's pretty cool, man. Jake Neighbors is a fucking
great
he's
kid.
He's a good kid. He's a good player. Good
player,
man.
good kid. And you know what's funny is so respectful. And like his family have come up and mentioned it to me, and I'm like, listen, Shanner pulled that. Like I didn't know Jake really well. Shake his hand and say, welcome to St. Louis, welcome to the team. But I'm not around there like I was. So I didn't know. I'm like, hey, just get whoever, just grab a kid and whoever.
All his brothers, they're all so much older than him too. Like he's probably a huge Garth Brooks.
Jake
being out there in Edmonton. Yeah.
Fucking scored 25 this year, man. God damn, that kid.
Oh yeah.
I like the way he plays.
You still watch a lot of hockey?
Yeah. I watch all the Blues
Who do you like watching?
Well, I tell Oshie all the time he's still my favorite player.
Yeah.
But I like watching Jake play. I like watching him play. I love McKinnon. Like, the other night we had dinner with him at Carbon, and he, Gretz said to him, "You think you're going to get tired before you get full?" I'd never seen a kid eat so much.
Oh, really?
It's unbelievable. He goes,
"You're not picky though."
Yeah, he eats really healthy.
Real healthy, but I mean, that's what we are.
Yeah.
And he got in there and we were laughing about it, but he's basically he's a bull. He's a
different,
goddamn
man.
horse, man. He's
Fuck
just
yeah, he is.
he's a horse, and so I love watching him play. I love watching Crosby still.
Mhm.
Me
You
too.
know,
Makar too, man. You get it.
Makar. I
Good
love
God, yeah.
watching him play.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how does this break affect Ovechkin every time? Comes back and scores all these goals again. What's going on the break that happens?
I
That
don't know.
you guys are a bunch of
Is he a little
chicken
more
shit
pep in his step?
bullshit.
Well, you don't like Ovi?
I like Ovi.
Do you want him to break Gretter's?
No,
You don't at all.
Mm. I used to.
Do you not want anybody to do it?
I don't want anyone to,
Okay.
Mhm.
because I think that much of Gretzky.
I didn't want Patrick Marleau to break fucking Gordie Howe's.
No.
Yeah, I didn't like that
want
either.
that
You know,
at all.
And that's me. That's maybe that's the wrong way to think. Gretz tells me I'm stupid. He goes, "Don't be stupid.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it's for."
yeah, you're not.
And I'm
speaking
like,
to him.
I'm like, that's just how I think. And I don't know, and like, and maybe it's because I don't know why it is. And I love watching Ovi, and I
Yeah.
love him as a player and
Yeah.
and a character. He's done so much for our game.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I get nostalgic about that kind of shit.
Mhm.
But I do. But
If it's anybody else but Ovi, I'm kind of like, no. But Ovi, fuck, man, he's pretty cool, and he's tough,
cool and he's tough.
and he's.
I remember
fucking
one time
fun.
when he hit Eric Weinrich one time when he had the puck, and I was doing the game between the benches, and he just kind of came up, and I bet you Weinrich was, I don't know, 5 feet in the air,
Ugh.
and I was like, holy fuck! Like I was like, what is this kid?
I know.
He launches
Was that
guys
in
I know.
Washington?
in Washington.
I remember that.
It was the most, and I'm like, this guy is unbelievable. And then, I mean, just to watch him play this long has been
Mhm.
great. But I don't know the record.
I get you, dude.
I don't know, just the record. I don't know. That's
I
just
get
my
you.
opinion.
Yeah.
I
you know?
get you on that.
No, I
Yeah.
was like, I kind of like a year ago. I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if he were able to catch him. I never felt like that before. And then now I'm just, I don't want
It's
him
slowing
to
down
catch.
too much.
Kid-
Yeah,
kid-
just slowing,
It's slowing down too much.
After the All-Star break, seems to pick up.
Yeah, he has.
Um,
Yeah, I know. I
Just
know.
so you know, though, there's not many guys that come on and say that either. Most guys are going to tell you a bunch of bullshit
I
and give
know.
you that fucking. I'm just telling you how I feel about it because.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, like I love watching certain players, and look, I watch our game
Mhm.
very closely. I watch our team. Like look, we got too many guys on our team that don't care if they're in St. Louis or Columbus,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the problem. So we have to fix that before we can fix the on ice stuff.
You think that's the case with a lot of teams, like the players, just the current? Like, there's so
I
much
think
movement
so, yeah.
nowadays.
I think
and
so, yeah.
Everyone's just fighting
But you
got
got
to
give a shit
survive,
about
you
the
know, in the
city.
league.
You got to care about this fucking city,
Yeah.
or care about the people that are watching you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, then then fuck, you shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to get a different kind of character to be here. That's the same thing with the coaches. Like when you pick coaches for St. Louis, they have to be a certain style. You guys can say whatever you want. It's just like Philly. Torts is a Philly fucking. You know when they turn?
Fuck yeah.
Listen to me. You guys can go back and look when it turned for Philly.
Mm-hmm.
This is when it turned for Philly. When Torts said, "I don't know what we do on the ice. We give the puck up. We fucking give up chances. We don't pick up our man. We don't do this. We don't do that. But we got balls." One thing I'll say about our team, we got balls. We play with balls. And these fucking kids woke up in the morning and went, "We got balls." Okay, so we got one
That's
thing. We
the
got
other
balls.
shit. Yeah.
You guys look that up. And that's when shit in Philly, all of a sudden, Philly's got this edge to their game, and they're starting to believe in each other, and they're playing for one another. They got balls. They don't have any more fucking balls than any of the other teams. They're just playing with balls.
Yes.
And Torts convinced them of that. Okay, so when they go and win last night, and they go and win, against teams they're not supposed to beat, and they should have beat the Blues, our goaltending
Yes.
saved us. Okay, that's because they play with balls.
Mm-hmm.
They play like they give a shit about Philly because that's what Philly is. So when you pick a coach,
Yeah.
you got to pick a fucking coach that fits your city.
They resemble their
Were you
city,
surprised when Burby got fired this year?
Kinda, but not because it was time because they weren't listening to him.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
And it's shitty.
And he
but
knew that, right?
he knew it, and the
Yeah.
group quit on him. Fuck, that's the truth.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
They quit on him.
Well, you can say whatever you want.
They quit on
That
him.
group quit on him. So I don't give. Chief's going to get a job in 15 seconds.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
You know.
He's already got a job at TNT. It was hilarious
Well,
the other night.
he was great.
Yeah.
He's been great. And again, there's Gretz convincing him to go on. You should go on.
Yeah.
You should do this. And he went on, and he was good. He was good. He's been good. He's been good every time he's been on. I don't know if you guys have seen.
He's got a
he's
bunch of
fucking
dates
great.
coming up too. He said.
Yeah.
And listen, and here's the thing with Chief. He's honest, and he's straightforward. And if you don't like that, then
Mhm.
you should. You
And
can't
he
play anymore.
follows the game, man. He knows the players, and he truly is a hockey junkie. Like he's
He is.
watching.
That's
hockey.
his life.
Yeah,
It's his ho-
it's his
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And they call everybody and they discuss it and shit like that.
Yeah.
What about that
Talk's
Jake?
the same way. Talk is
Yes.
exactly the
Fucking
same
badass.
way.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same person.
And Dale Hunter, they are the whole crew
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah,
What about that Jacob Trouba? You like him?
I like him.
Me too.
Yeah, I like him.
Fucking put you downtown China.
And he just, but again, there's a guy that's old school that just plays. You know, I like this resurrection of the fighting a little bit because all of a sudden people are excited and engaged. It's funny how the league can try and ignore it, but they can't ignore it.
I know.
Like it's like spitting chiclets. Like they want them to go away, but they can't go away. Right? They can't. It's like, you know, there's shows like this that they're like, Jesus. But they can't. They're bigger than the game now. Like they're as big as the game, and so now they have to have them, and they don't like what they say. They're just saying what guys are thinking.
No shit.
Because these are these types of shows, like they can't control. They have no control.
But
over it,
that's
you know?
healthy.
that's
We
the
like to
thing.
see that.
That's
But
the
it's
thing.
like the other day I was talking to, you know, NHL teams are restricted from, like, in their game recaps and the videos they put out on social media, they can't show fights. Like, they're not allowed to. You know, I couldn't believe on NHL Network you were telling me they showed the Rempe Reeves
They did.
fight,
I was wondering if they
and
were
I
gonna
was
do it.
surprised.
Well,
they
they'll
actually
put
showed
them
that.
on NHL Network every once. They'll
Yeah.
put them on. I'd get them to put them on.
Yeah,
And I love those guys at NHL Network.
So do
But
I.
we got Joel Quenneville coming in for the game here.
yeah,
Do you think they're going to put him on the thing? They're not going to put him on.
no.
And you know, and that's because
What do you make
know,
out of that situation?
I think that Joel needs to come out and talk.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
We've been
I think
saying
he's
that.
got a shitty lawyer, if you want to know the truth, because there's no excuse for him not being in the game. That's what I think. I love Joel Quenneville. I know what he stands for. I know there's a lot of bullshit slung at him, and I don't like it. And I quite honestly, you know what? You have to stay quiet for him because we want to respect what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point, you got to stick up for yourself,
Mhm.
or your lawyer has to. Somebody has
Yeah.
to.
Otherwise-
Somebody's got to stick up. I shouldn't say somebody has to because you guys have. You guys
No
have always
shit.
Yeah.
We've been
taken.
talking
Yeah,
about
we
this
have.
for a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah. no.
Because otherwise you're just letting them.
But the
win by
pendulum's
just
swinging
keeping them
back, you
quiet,
guys.
right?
Yeah, it
It's
is.
swinging back.
There it
It
is.
The bullshit's starting to come back out.
There it is.
So it's what's going to happen is some of these guys, like it's the same stuff with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same stuff. You're starting to find out that the damages that some of the stuff has done to people, the side effects that it's done to people that
Yeah.
weren't you couldn't possibly think through some of it, but the side effects are going to start to affect, and it's going to affect some people in the game. And if somebody thinks that people making the decisions don't have a backstory or a closet full of skeletons, they're full of shit. And at some point, you know what? Like I can tell you that 100% I wouldn't have been in the game if that's like you're telling me you're suspending a guy for calling a kid fat on the ice. They would have had to suspend guys calling me fat every game. Like
fat.
They suspended a kid in Canada for calling a kid a midget.
Oh, really?
And in a midget hockey tournament. It's called midget hockey. And then they gave him the
they'll
MVP
change
later
the
in
name.
midget hockey tournament.
They don't know
was
what
it,
the
midget.
fuck.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. But they go out there and the 5%ers bitch.
Yep.
So they react.
They're loud.
And so like that's what happens. And so like in a case like Joel, I think he's going to get his say at some point. And I think there's going to be some stain on some people that aren't going to like it. And the truth is that, you know, look, do I think that some of the guys that have been wronged? Sure. Do I think they should be the moral compass for the league? Fuck no. These guys have got fucking laundry lists as long as 10 arms.
No shit.
And they're going to be the moral compass of our league now because they were wrong. Like, that's bullshit.
There's not one guy that we've interviewed, and we've interviewed a ton of people that know Joel that didn't like him.
No,
didn't
I
respect
sent it
him.
to Joel all
Not
the time.
one.
I just sent him Brad Richards.
Not even
comments
close.
the other day.
Not even a hesitation.
It's embarrassing.
Jason. Not even a hesitation.
Like, he's one of the guys, the best coach I ever had. Okay? Not even close. And not only because of the way he thought about the game and worked at the game and thought of his players, the way he would send a note around and if anybody's close to bonuses and send it down around the team and try and put me in the last game of the year, put me in the last game after I was playing 4-4 and he didn't know I needed one more plus to get plus 10. My last year, my
You had a bonus?
I had a bonus. Put me in, well, one of my years, the last game of the year though, put me in and the goalie's puts Turge, me and Hully on the ice. We score, I get plus 10, I get a $50,000 bonus.
Wow.
Okay?
That's fucking awesome.
That's unbelievable. And Courts went in the room after I was a healthy scratch because they were going to get some guys in and I had a sore shoulder and a separated shoulder. And he goes, he needs one plus for his bonus. Joel goes, no, he got it in Phoenix. I checked. He goes, no, he got scored on after that. Twister was fucking chasing Michel Petit around with his fucking gloves off, and we got scored on. And so he goes, no. Oh, he goes, I didn't know that. So he comes in and he goes, you want to play? And I go, yeah. He goes, Kitch, call Pascal Riom, tell him he's not playing.
Pascal.
So he pulls Pascal out of the lineup, puts me in the lineup, and I play in the fucking game and get a plus and get $50,000. That's the kind of guy he was. Or coming in, calling Twister and I in the room and saying, listen to me.
Two more
Here's
things.
the
Sorry,
deal. I'm going to tell you this. He goes, 2 things, boys. 1, I don't know how to do what you do. I do not understand all of the idiosyncrasies that go along with your role. So you got to help me. So if you think there's a time where I need to put you on the ice for some reason, just tell me. And I'll try and do my best to get you out there. And he goes, and secondly, he goes, when I do it, you can't embarrass the organization, me, or your family. That's it. Don't get yourself in a trick bag where I've got to explain, the team's got to explain, or your family has to be embarrassed. Don't do that. Okay, no problem. So the Benoit Hogue fight, when I broke his, that was orchestrated at a face-off, at a TV timeout. I told them what was going to happen to him or Badano. I said, I'm sick of fucking watching Darian Hatcher beat on Hully. So guess what? And Hitch is like, you're not going to get out there when they're out there. So he puts them out. And I turn around to Joel on the bench. We get last change. I said, now is a good time for us to go out. He goes, go ahead. Puts us on the fucking ice. And bang, bang, bang. I say to Twister, start some shit. I'm going to grab that fucking...
Yeah.
Mike Manano skated right up to me and said, Chaser, leave me the fuck alone, please. Just leave me alone.
Do you listen to people?
I was never going to touch him.
No, I get that.
But I remember... what's the guy that's working in Detroit now? Was in Edmonton, played in Edmonton. Funny guy, starts with an H, forward. He's assistant GM. I think, or one of the.
Maltby?
No, in Detroit, I'll remember his name. Anyways, I skated up to him in Edmonton and I slashed him on the back of the legs because they were talking about getting Horkoff.
Yeah.
I hit him on the back of the legs, Sean Horkoff, and I said, "So you're one of these tough guys they brought up from the minors? Are you a tough guy?" He goes, not even a bit.
That's all I need to hear.
And I'm like, okay, just leave him alone.
That's it.
That's it.
Just so you know, you're not tough.
2 more things, and then we want to promote the game.
Yeah.
Why do you think players are so reluctant to speak out and speak up? I'm not saying like anybody who played for Joe Quenneville should automatically speak on his behalf, but why do you think players are?
They're
afraid?
each their own business.
Yeah.
Everybody's
in the NHL specifically. I'm curious to your conversation with Sean Payton about like the NFL versus the NHL, what he's dealing with in the NFL versus your experience.
It's very similar what he has to deal with daily too, but he's a common sense guy too. Like when you get to talk to him, he's just got common sense. I don't imagine the commissioner loves him either. And I'm not speaking for Sean Payton, but I would say that, he's got reservations about a lot of things the league does probably.
Yeah, probably.
But at the end of the day, Sean Payton's honest. Sean Payton is giving you exactly, he's a guy's guy, and you say that, but but he loves his mother. So he's got respect for people, but he's a fucking man and knows the difference between holding the door and taking your hat off and doing the right thing, and then still don't be a pussy. Like, fucking, are you kidding me? You're going to run around and tell everybody what happened in our locker room?
Right.
Shut the fuck up. And that's how he is. Like, I don't understand it, but like, even with my kids, like I say, why do you worry about what I tweet? The fuck do you worry about it for? Dad, I don't give a fuck about a brand. I don't give a shit about my brand. I just want sometimes people to just tell the truth.
Yep.
Like Peelsy.
Yeah, well, he might overdo it a bit sometimes.
We love him.
I know.
We love him.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Alexander Steen, I know you've always been tight with him. You think he'll be a GM one day?
Yeah. And really good.
Yeah.
He calls me the other day. We watched the first period of the games on FaceTime audio, and he goes, he's calling me the other day, and he's kind of bitching a little bit about something I don't remember what. And I turned to him. I said to him, "Hey, what the fuck are you complaining about right now?" I said, "Why don't you come back and do something about it instead of complaining about it?" I said, on top of it all, I said, I'm sitting in a hospital room and I care more than 4 of the guys that are out there right now. And I said, you fucking are sitting here bitching at me. I go, come back and do something about it. So he just starts laughing. But he really loves St. Louis and he really cares about the city and the team and everything too. So he's passionate about it, and he's working for the team. So you know, you never know. And Army's a fucking brilliant GM. I mean, he's probably the best in the league, or one of the
great
best.
Great guy to learn under for sure.
Yeah, no shit.
So I hope that Steiner grabs a hold of it and look at Army can write a ticket to wherever the fuck he wants to go if he doesn't want to be in St. Louis, right? Like that's a given. So hopefully he stays around and mentors, you know, some guys that we can put in place that learn off of him. You know, I love some of Army's lines too. Like he's got some good one-liners that are. And
compared to maybe some of the other managers, GMs, in other sports, how Army presents himself, like he doesn't bullshit, man. And he calls out the players, and he's fucking honest.
Yeah, he's honest. I think if Army has one deficiency, it's maybe not understanding the importance. No, I say that wrong because then it sounds like I'm knocking him. I'm not knocking him, but I think it's a hard thing for a GM as a player even, because you got to remember you're not a player anymore, right? You're not one of them anymore. Even if you played, is not understanding the dynamic in the locker room. It's hard to understand when you're not in the locker room. So that's the hardest thing for GMs to pick up on, right? Like think about it. Like you're not in the locker room, so how the fuck do you know? Like you're most qualified to be a GM the day you become the day you retire. That's the truth. You know every player in the league, who's cutting deals at face-offs, who's not, who turns, who the phonies are. You're the best GM in the world the day you retire. And it's true. And the guys are all fucking guys think they know.
They've been on the ice.
I'm not saying you can make a trade properly.
Right.
I'm just saying you know the players better than anybody that fucking plays.
You can't manage the cap.
And you can't manage the cap, but you fucking know the players.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know the locker room. And you know the guys that are bad in the locker room. And not just your fucking locker room, but the one down the hall.
You hear it.
You hear it, right? So that's the hardest thing for a GM is when you're sitting that far away and you got to fucking figure out the dynamic in the locker room. And you got to guess lots of times, all right? And I think maybe if Steiner ever gets engaged, maybe that's where he could help. But certainly Army's got a grasp on everything. Like he's the best. He's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking name me a GM you'd take ahead of him.
Fuck.
There's nobody you'd fucking take ahead of him. Like you can say, like Joe Sakic's back there pulling the strings, and you can say, look, and Joe's got a pretty fucking clip. But Joe's got a couple of first fucking picks overall to fucking deal with, or high picks that he's been able to fucking manage. And I love Joe.
And Ranson.
But I mean, like honestly, who's better than Army?
Not many.
None.
And people love him here in St. Louis, man.
You got Lou Lamoriello. You still have some old school guys.
Listen.
Lou's great at his time.
Lou is great. And I just think Lou would be great to mentor somebody, but I don't think he can drive.
I mean, I like the old school guys is what I'm getting at. You know, there's
experience, man. They know where the logs are laying on the road.
And Lou, without being in the locker room, pretty much knows the locker room.
Oh, yeah, but he had his trainers on the take for the whole time.
No shit.
And you know who's going to be good? Is Barry Trotz.
Barry Trotz is good.
Yep.
Yeah, he already is good. You know what Barry Trotz phoned and asked? He said, did you write that thing on the Blues locker room door, the alumni room door? And I said, yeah. He said, can I put that in the Predators locker room? And I said, for sure.
Oh,
of course.
really?
Say what it is exactly.
Yeah. Well,
do you have it memorized?
It's earn
blood beyond these walls.
Beyond these,
No, it's
beyond this door.
Yeah.
You should fucking know it.
No, because I've read it a billion.
Through these doors walk the shoulders of men who have bled, sweated, broke bones, and tore muscles for the right to enter this room. They enter this room with pride, yet humble, for they know that all that they have they owe to the game, and the game owes them nothing. And they know that God will not judge them for their degrees, diplomas, trophies, or awards, but for what they give back. And they know that you don't, and they know that you earn your way through these, when you earn your way through these doors, it's a privilege. I fucked up the end. That's what's pretty close.
Yeah. That's good.
I remember seeing that when I was, before I did anything, I was going in that locker room, reading that shit, man.
Hey, tell us about the event coming up.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, let me give you run a show. Run a show is this. We go out and get our team picture, right? It'll be on another rink. We'll do the team picture. We'll come over to the other rink. The 3 top pipers, bagpipers in the country in Canada are coming, and heels a piper too. They're going to pipe the teams out onto the ice. So the teams will come out, team NHL and team Blues, okay? And it'll be the alumni that aren't playing everybody. We'll have some dignitaries. We'll have a couple of the doctors and all that. We'll do a presentation, whatever. We'll have the pipers. We'll play the alumni video that Bruce Springsteen did, No Surrender, No Retreat. It's unbelievable. If you haven't looked it up, look it up. It's unbelievable. Video, 40s footage right up to now about what the game means to guys. Okay, so it's unreal. It's 3.5 minutes. They'll play Hallelujah. We're gonna have special guests singing. I can't announce, like one of the alumni daughters, hopefully singing the anthem. Hopefully Darren Kimball's daughter sings the anthem. I'm gonna throw in a side story here. Day 4 of my chemo, I got a call from Kimby, and he had a tough day. And he told me that the reason that he wasn't on the parade on my float when he canceled was because he's got leukemia, and he's had it for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And so he's been suffering and not telling anybody. And I mean, it's a motherfucker to go through it to start with, but like with
different
people,
type than
with
yours, you said,
different
right?
type.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, you know, like going through it's hard enough, but like with all the people that'll help you, but yourself, just with your family, like it's fucking bizarre. Mm-hmm. But that's how he is, you know. And now he's realized, like, hey, and I've convinced him that, hey, we're going to help people. We're going to do a bunch of good here, and then maybe we help somebody that you know. Maybe we help a relative that you know. But we're going to get this research money to these guys so they can help us. And we're 10 years, we're advanced so far now in 10 years, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So, you know, so he's on board, and your podcast is coming out late enough, I can tell you. So hopefully his daughter sings, who's an actress, and we hope that she sings.
She sang at Blues games before.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so she'll sing the anthem. We'll play the first half, and then after the first half, the Pipers will come back out. They'll do Amazing Grace, and then our house band guy Craig Nienhaus will play. Then they'll do Amazing Grace, kind of with him, and then he'll sing it. Actually, they may do Amazing Grace first and then Hallelujah. He'll sing Hallelujah because he's unreal. And then Trevor Rosen from Old Dominion is going to play in the hockey game, played in the USHL. He's going to come out in his equipment, and he's going to sing a song, an Old Dominion song. Then Dirk Bentley is going to come out on the ice, and Dirks is going to sing a song. So it'll be our halftime intermission kind of entertainment. We'll check the time.
Is that on the ice, or is that
on the ice for everybody? Okay. And then after the game, guys will go, the VIP tickets, you're a VIP ticket. All of the guys will be up in the room. All the guys will be upstairs. We'll do a little three item auction. And then we definitely will have, so one of the coaches, so we'll have Sean Payton and Granato coaching on one team. We'll have Hully, Gretzky, and Quenneville on the other team. We'll have, we're going to have Garth Brooks coming, and he's going to coach on team NHL. So Garth's coming. He's going to, if you're a VIP ticket, he's going to.
NHL is going to be playing like the cover too.
Yeah.
It's going
to be a game, though.
So Garth's coming, and he's going to, he said, listen, if you need 10 hours after the game, I get, you know, because he's not allowed to sing with his contract with Caesar's Palace, and they wouldn't allow it, and which is understandable, and I understand that he's the best. He said, if you need me for 10 hours, I'm 10 hours, buddy, whatever you need. So he's flying into town, and they're going to have him, we're going to have him coach, and then he'll come up in the VIP area, and then we'll do a little presentation thing up there with some more donations, and then Niener will get back up and play, and Craig Nienhaus, who played, you know, games with Boston and in the NHL, and he's our house band guy, and he's unbelievable, played in stadiums, you know, and he'll get up and play till his throat's sore, and we'll just have a party.
Yeah. Party, baby.
And all proceeds go to...
Yeah, so the proceeds, you know, through our alumni are going to go to the Jimmy V Foundation, and then they spot it to Siteman's Cancer Institute.
Okay.
So
Here in St. Louis.
Here in St. Louis. So it's going to be, so our doctors are going to actually see the research money. And like I said, like Jimmy V Foundation is pinpoint on research. They don't give out for bills of hospitals or anything like that, which is, you know, Garth's got teammates, right? And he's like, hey, listen, you know, if you guys need something, you know, you're one of the teammates. Like, you're on the board with us. So if you need something, and they'll build out an area or whatever, but they are so stringent on knowing where every dollar goes, and it's the way it should be. And that's what the Jimmy V Foundation is great at too. So with Siteman's, we wanted it to go, Kimby and I wanted it to go to our doctors for research. So I talked to Tony Granato, who will be on the ice, Brian Boyle, who suffers from it, and then Troy Murray, who's just got cancer, not just cancer, but we want to have Troy in as one of our guys too, so he's going to be there as well. He's got inoperable cancer, and it's a tough go for him. So that's April 5th at Centene, and look, it's going to be unbelievable, unbelievable. And again, we keep adding to the list of guys that are coming in, and it just keeps getting better. And when guys hear this guy's coming, hey, I want to come, and hey, I'll sing or I'll do this. We've had a couple of guys reach out and say, hey, I'd like to play music at it. Well, getting ahead of those guys.
We already got that covered a little bit, and the game's going to be competitive too.
Yeah, the game will be fun with you guys. I've stayed out of the. We're going to actually have I think a cool start to the game.
Are you able to skate?
I'm barely walking, but we're going to have a real cool start to the game. We're going to have. I'll tell you guys off camera. It's going to be an unbelievable start to the game, which I'm not going to give out because it's just going to be cool.
No, it's all good. Hang on to that.
This is going to be a blast.
Yeah. No, it's going to be
shoot the shit with everybody that shows up.
It's great to see you, man. Everyone gets excited when you come down to the rink too. It's so
it just shows the mark that you made on this town, dude. I mean, really.
It's a two-way street, gents.
You should feel I know. I get it, man.
You know better than anybody. You grew up here. You didn't have the success that Hully had on the ice, but you want to make an impact in the community, and I think in part of the thing that I missed in that speech with all that you have, you owe to the game, and the game owes you nothing, and I think that's true. I think the game doesn't owe me anything. Everything I have in my life, I kind of owe to the game, and like the businesses that I've built, been fortunate enough to build and sell some of them, and have, I think, be successful and is because of the game. It's not because would I have figured things out in a business? Probably, but it doesn't hurt when you make a call and you throw your name out in St. Louis and they take your call or they call you right back.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to wait to go through a bunch of bullshit red tape, and you call them and say, just tell me what I have to do. And I want to do the right thing. I want to follow the rules, but just tell me what I have to do. And then you go in and you get it done. And people have been so good. Like I can't even begin to tell you how good people have been to me. Like it's not just because of this too, but before that. But with this cancer thing, you just, it helps your resiliency. I got to be honest with you.
Absolutely, man.
So,
you look good, dude.
Yeah,
you do.
I feel good. I feel
you look good, man.
Like I don't know if I could take you right now, so now's your chance.
You might be able to take Andy.
I'm pretty sure with that still. Okay.
I hope so.
But at the end of the day, I feel fortunate to have the doctors I have.
Yeah.
I feel great that we have Siteman's in St. Louis. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then to be able to give back and have a platform to do what we're doing at this game and have all my friends there, like I see Butchie called when I was on here, and Shanny called when I was on here, and little Nelly didn't call yet because they got the trade deadline. But the fact that Shanny called, Toronto must be done making trades.
They're done. They got Edmondson.
Yeah. He asked me how I was going to like him. I said, you're going to love him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great pickup.
Yeah.
See what happens with them, man. But I appreciate you coming in. I can't wait for April 5th, by the way. April 5th, all you guys. Where do they look up tickets? Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
We'll
We'll entertain all y'all.
Don't embarrass the brand. Okay.
I know. I'm trying not to, like toe pick or something like that. Run into somebody. Run into Dirks. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Oh my God.
Dirks is on their team.
Yeah.
No, Dirks is on our team.
No, he's on our team.
He's on our team. Yeah.
I want to collide with him.
So it's Dave Coulier and DB Sweeney.
Dave Coulier.
You could lay out Coulier. Coulier's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
He likes playing.
We've hung with him before.
Yeah. DB likes to play, so he's on so. And DB Sweeney, for those of you who don't know, was Shoeless Joe Jackson in 8 Men Out, and been on a couple of movies, Cutting Edge, few skating movie, and so he's excited about playing. It's funny because I reached out to, like, Elway wanted to come and he was going to coach, and then he ended up he had another event he couldn't get out of, and he sent me a note, and I was laughing. I said I was going to put you in goal.
Yeah.
Fuck
so
that.
It'll be fun. We haven't had an event like this in St. Louis in a while, actually.
No, I'm ready for it. So that's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming in, man.
We love you,
Good to
buddy.
see you.
All right.
Everybody
Look
loves
forward
you.
to your interview with Quenneville.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah.
See ya.
Right on.
The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy,
Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Kelly Chase, man. And it was great to see him and great to talk to him, dude.
Yeah, I know. And you might get emotional, and he did a little bit.
He did.
And he's been doing his rounds in St. Louis at
Sure.
least, but we're the first podcast that he went to, long formed. But he got emotional.
And you know what? I could sense when the emotion was coming. And as an interviewer, sometimes you can ask another question, you know it's really going to bring it out. But I wanted to kind of like
Let him go.
just not try to. You and I talked about that. We didn't want this to be an overly sad conversation the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We weren't trying to like bring all the emotion. Listen, whenever you have cancer and you got family and everything he's been through, I can only imagine how emotional this has been for him. The last thing I want him to do is to come in here and just feel like it's got to be like just overflowing with emotion the whole conversation.
No, there's a balance to
I want
it.
him to like enjoy himself and be able to relax and just
Laugh.
and have a good
And he did.
conversation, dude.
That was great.
You know?
I thought we did a pretty good job with that.
Yeah.
But we sometimes you got to sit back and let the big dog talk. Like we got to let him talk, and he's exactly what happened. And we chime in here and there, and we'd ask our questions, but we just wanted him to go. Just go. What's on your mind? Go. And that's exactly what he did. And he did get a little bit emotional, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Rightfully
This
so.
affects everybody, man. Like, there's not one person in the world that doesn't know somebody that's been through fucking hardcore shit with cancer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can happen.
But, you know, and he's been through a lot even before he got diagnosed with this round of cancer.
Exactly.
You know, he's had some prostate issues.
Yeah, and then
He's had some he got attacked by a dog. We had a major infection. You know, we had Sheldon Souray on with us who told us all about it.
I mean,
that's
funny.
He's had some, you know, the brain lesions that he's had over the years. Like,
and he had to take
he's had a lot of medical issues, man.
Fuck, I remember like seeing him one time, like 5 years ago. Like we're hanging out at the alumni box. Fuck, he puffed up so much. I'm like, whoa,
Steroids.
I go, what happened to you? He's like, yeah, dude, these steroids. They puffed his whole body out.
Yeah.
Like, so he's just been through so many different things, man. And for him going through hell, and I remember when he first got out of the hospital and went to the Blues game, and you were there.
I was there. I was in the box.
You were in the box, and I'm watching on TV. I'm like, that's the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
And Kate and I looked at each other. We're like, fuck.
Yeah, he did not look great.
Andy. I go, why is he there?
Mm-hmm.
I go, God, I can't believe they let him go there.
Yeah, I don't know if they let him go, but he
I don't know.
went.
Well,
you know,
Gretzky brought him Gretzky's like, no, you're getting out. And look,
hey,
maybe
Gretzky told him people want to see you.
They do. Everybody wants to see you. But Chaser, for him to be like, God, I don't want them to see me like this.
Mm-hmm.
And when your immune system's so depleted, and all of a sudden you're gonna go shake hands with everybody at a fucking rink like that.
That's scary.
But so where's it? You roll the dice on that. Like, okay, am I gonna risk for getting an infection or get sick, whatnot? Maybe he fucking touches your bacteria-filled hands because Andy's sick all the goddamn time.
No,
now.
I'm not.
No, you are.
The last week or so.
No.
Yeah, I've been going through
Sniffy Magoo, and then Chaser's got to hang around with guys like him, and I'm like, fuck. And then I saw Chaser for the first time without his like tough guy looking persona, without his thick full hair that he's so like recognizable for. And I see him laying there. I'm like, fuck. And I look at each other. We're like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
But people wanted to see him. They didn't know how to react to him. And that took a lot of courage to even do that. But sometimes you got to roll the dice to get the fuck out of that hospital for a little bit and to make yourself feel better that this whole city loves you. And he did. But when I first saw him, Andy, I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah.
It was
I remember
awful.
talking to his sons, all three of them, that night. And then late night, actually.
Yeah.
Little Lukey was at Obie Clark's and
handsome kid.
But talking to Will and Ben a lot at the
Yeah.
game too. Man, they were so confident in the fact that he's going to be okay. That
You are,
you know,
you're
you
not.
just no, but like
You
they
know.
seem to be in a good place. I mean, they obviously were okay with him being at the game and everything. So
Yeah.
but when they were so vibrant and happy and it's like, man,
Well, Chaser was-
you can't. His own family is like accepted the situation, but they're like keeping such a positive, great outlook and attitude about it. It doesn't lend for everybody else to just be sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, when his family is being like, "Don't be sad, he's gonna be fine." You know?
Yeah, but that only goes so far too, man. You're dealing with the biggest tough guy you've ever fought in your life, just like he said.
Yeah.
This guy's 6 foot fucking fuck it. He's 7'5".
6'9".
No. He's 7'5", and he throws knockout punches with
Lefts
both
and
hands
rights.
down the fucking pipe. And like now you're fighting that guy, and you're fighting him for months. So it's a different animal. So they could be as happy and encouraging as possible,
Yeah.
but deep down, you know this is a tough, tough battle, and he's doing pretty damn good right now.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
So we appreciate him coming in.
And we're raising a lot of money April 5th.
Yes. It's going to be a great...
I want you to be behind the bench.
Yeah. Well, tell Chaser.
And I want Cam... No, he knows it. Because he wants us... We need to show this event off.
Yeah.
My daddy's coming. Lori and Kate are be hanging out.
Yeah.
Drinking Bloody Marys, doing their thing. I can't wait for it.
We're going to have some fun.
I might have to score a couple goals in that goddamn game, baby.
You might have
I might have to score a
but
couple
I don't
goals.
see it happening because you have no...
I might have to score a couple
You're
goals.
not in shape.
Oh.
Your hands aren't ready. Your vision, your playmaking, your hockey sense, everything's lacking right now.
True that. That is true. But I could get that back in a week.
Well, you better start training.
God damn it, what was I going to say?
You want to go to Ty sessions with him?
Maybe.
Thursday morning, dude.
I might.
Come.
Like I might.
Yeah.
God, I was going to say something. Oh. People want to see the hit I laid on you.
Well.
No. People want to see, because we bring it up a lot, because Andy thinks I'm a bully, which I'm not. Well, I'm not.
Who wants to? They haven't reached out to me.
They want to
this.
see the hit that I barely... Remember you said I slammed your head? There's a video of Andy and I when I did hit him, and then Andy tries to challenge me, and I go ahead and punch me, and then all of a sudden
That's not what you said. You said you want to go?
No, I don't.
You
No,
wanted
I
to
didn't.
fight me.
No, I didn't, dude. That's such a fucking lie, dude. I would never do that. But I said I wanted you to hit me just to get it over with, and I'll just eat the punch. But I want to show everybody how I barely touched you, and you go,
how loud was it?
like, I barely touched you.
Maybe for charity.
And he didn't.
I'll
No.
auction it off
But
at
we're
some
gonna,
point in
we're gonna,
time.
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna send a video out. And we're gonna tweet
Not
it.
yet.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe one day.
That's what. That's what the fans want.
Now, when I almost fought Chaser.
Oh God, I wish. Oh God, Chaser too. It's me, Chaser, and Bobby Pleger.
I think we talked
It's the
about it last
three
time Chaser
guys.
came on with us. Chaser and Holy, by the way, the only two guests we've had on twice.
Yeah, I like that. Now we might get Twister on again too.
That'd be fine.
Out there again. Remember what happened last time Andy went to Chaser's house? He got attacked by a
We
dog.
had so much fun out there.
And he got pulled to you know what on his back.
Oh my God.
He put you down, dude. He
Downtown.
put you down like a fucking criminal.
Downtown
Like
Chinatown.
Chinatown. That was kind of scary when Twister pulls guns on you.
Well, when anybody
I
does.
didn't tell him to do that.
It could be like...
I didn't tell him to do
It could
that.
be a 3-year-old.
I did not tell Twister to pull a couple of his Glocks on you.
God.
I didn't. But he said I go, let's scare Andy. And he did.
Yeah, great idea.
I'm sorry. Again.
But I almost fought Chaser. I was ready to go.
God, I'll tell the story again. Right before, so all the big dogs are coming back to St. Louis for the Winter Classic. The alumni finally, the Blues did it right with the alumni game. They had 50,000 fucking people watching an alumni game before the Winter Classic. They had 50,000 people there. They had Gretzky on the ice, Chaser, all these superstars playing an alumni game. So everybody comes back into town a month before and starts skating with all of us. We're all skating. For some reason, Andy's out there.
Not even a month.
For some reason, Andy's out there. And Chaser lined up Andy. Andy's got his head up his fucking little ass up the boards like, I don't know what I'm doing. And Chaser comes down.
Down the wall.
He rocked you 10 times
It
harder
was
than I
like
did.
it was
He
like Rempe on that kid from Carolina.
That's a Cronwall hit. He Cronwalled you.
Mm-hmm.
He came down the boards and fucked Andy up. Andy pops up just like he kind of did with me. Like, I'm tough. Gets up, and I'm on the bench. Chaser comes off the bench, sits right next to me. Andy's in a fetal position, pops up, skates over to Chaser, beelines it. We're like, oh, everybody stands up like, oh, what are you going to do? Andy goes over to the bench and challenges Chaser. Chaser's like, get the fuck out of here. I felt bad for you. I did.
A lot of alumni.
When that happened,
because that's an easy. That's probably a 2 or 3 game suspension.
No,
if it went to Department of Player Safety.
He bullied you.
Elbow. What was the principal point of contact?
He fucked you.
And like your hit too.
I barely
both
touched.
times.
No, we're gonna play the video.
head was the principal
Poor
point
Andy,
of contact.
because Andy's out there. He's just trying to dangle. And so Chaser's probably like, I had enough of this, and just fucking rocked him. That was a little too much. Chaser pissed me off that game too.
He did.
My cousin Derek was out there.
Oh yeah, he was yelling at Derek.
And Derek stripped the puck from him. Chaser turns around, no look like this.
Oh, the slash
breaks
on top.
my cousin's stick.
In half.
Just misses
His
hands.
$200
my stick that I gave him. Those are my sticks. And I go, I lost it on him. Now I'm challenging.
I
Chase.
love it.
But I didn't. But afterwards, I didn't like what he did to you. What Bobby did to you, Bobby Pleger.
That was a badge of honor.
The badge. You're damn right. You played that cool. You looked up and saw him like,
It was funny.
and then you got up and you were smiling, and that was cool.
Yeah.
What me and Chaser did to you was not good.
Yeah, no.
Especially Chaser.
Because it was bullying.
I didn't bully you, dude.
It was bullying.
No, I didn't. Chaser did.
Um,
It's funny. Listen, you playing with the big boys with no goddamn shoulder pads on, trying to dangle guys at the fucking in the neutral zone. Guys are gonna get pissed at you.
mhm.
I don't know why. Like, it is what it is. But I barely touched you. You don't got shoulder pads on. You need to fix that. Maybe put some more weight on if you're gonna hang with the big boys. That's all good. You just hang with the big boys.
2 and 2.
No, you didn't even touch the puck.
I think I had 2 and 2.
The one time you touch the puck, Chaser fucking crushes you.
Firstform.com/Cam and only use our link. Just our link.
Just use our link, guys.
And 110% money back guarantee.
Again, man, they have so much to offer. You want to get in shape.
Mm-hmm.
They have it all. They'll teach you how to work out through their app. They have energy drinks for you. They got stuff
They got everything.
if you're not a big eater in the morning like I am, man, you take their protein. You got beef sticks with 20 grams of protein. If you're dehydrated, you have the rehydration package that I crush every
Or
goddamn
just drink
morning.
some energy drinks, dude.
No, when you're dehydrated.
I get it, but you
You
can
don't
always...
drink energy drinks when you're dehydrated. You drink energy drinks when you need to get up.
Yeah.
But you need to drink water with this fucking
Get up.
this hydration
Yeah,
pack.
it's great.
It's great.
It's better than Gatorade. It has no sugar.
No sugar. It's damn good.
You know, Gatorade's really bad for you, by the way.
Man, when you're sick though,
Well,
when you're sick,
when you're sick.
I crave Gatorade so fucking bad, dude. I crave Peterlight. I crave hydration packs and Gatorade and soda.
Hell, oh god.
I know.
Dude.
When
Then you're drinking soda afterwards.
It's not, but for some reason it quenches your thirst when you're really sick. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's odd.
Okay.
Soda's terrible.
So firstform.com/Cam and
Yeah.
get those bars, get everything. Illinois Recovery Center, Cam, 800-743-0971. Call Chrissy, call Eric today. Reach out to me. I can get you in touch with
Reach out to
anybody.
me too, man. And
Yeah.
they have a bed waiting for you. It's a nice facility. You go in there and get work done.
Yeah.
You're not coming in like lollygag. No, when you get out of there, you're a different
You're
person.
Different.
And I see the energy with some of these guys that are
Yeah.
on their last little stage
Yeah.
in recovery, and they have fucking energy out the
Mhm.
ass. They're not some sort of like, oh God, you don't have this dark cloud over you, just like controls your soul. Now you're free. Like they're out there, like they're talking my ear off. Like I can't wait to get out of here.
Yeah.
Got my construction company going on. Da, da. And some people are like, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
I have my family waiting for me. I have a business that's being run by somebody else. I know I'm getting jammed up. I need to be here for 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
They just know it. Whatever the case is, they are going to help you. That's Eric Conley. That's Chrissy Pondoff. That's IRC, Illinois Recovery Center.
IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
Love all you guys.
Hatlaunch.com, baby.
Right here.
Say
Young
hi to
baby.
Danny boy and
Danny, what's up?
Jordan and the
Jordan, what
whole
up, baby?
crew over there.
You're doing a damn good job.
Talk
Looking
to
good.
Danny, dude.
You're looking damn good on TV, baby. I saw that. Looking damn good. You got good products, man. You do. You do a dang good job. They got these bad boys out in like 15 fucking
Get your
minutes.
custom hats, dude. And
Whatever
get
you
it
want.
done and turn it around quickly. It's America's #1 source for custom headwear, man.
They are the best of the best.
Every
Check 'em
hat
out.
has a brand. Every brand has a story.
I like that. And it's true. You're right. Whether your kid's
I came up
fucking
with that.
birthday,
I came up with that.
your bowling team,
Yeah.
your kid's
Yeah.
hockey team,
Yes.
a party, a big event, whatever.
Hey,
They will do it for you.
if you own a business and you have like an assembly line and they're working, man, give them some damn hats.
Yeah,
man.
hook them up. Let them all look fucking cool and sharp.
And if you don't know exactly how to customize the look of it, man, talk to those guys. They'll help you out with that.
They'll help you out with anything you need.
Design,
Hat launch.
design, and all that.
Hat launch.
Hatlaunch.com, baby.
Hell yeah.
Say hi to Jordan too.
Jordan, what's up, homeboy?
Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay.
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 Say okay.
Okay. Lil John. He lost some weight.
Bellman, baby. Was Little John fat?
He was a little heavy, and now he's like slimmed up. I saw him in the
Uh,
Super Bowl. He looks
Really?
slimmed up,
I
yeah.
didn't see that.
You don't see a lot of things, Andy. It's all
I
good.
didn't see that. Oh, Bellman and Bellman.com at Cam. At Bellman, you get
Swinging dicks. If you know, you know.
you get
know.
sushi and flavored water, though, and they make you.
You know
feel
what a
comfortable.
swinging dick does?
They make you feel comfortable.
They come out there, all these bunch of 15 swinging dicks come out. Your wife's just looking at that Jeep.
I got her.
Hey, woman, what you looking at, woman? Hi, I'm just trying to look at this Jeep.
I'm looking at a new minivan, a Chrysler.
You married that Kane Jansen? They call me Kane Jansen, the hillbillies.
Yeah, I know,
the swinging dicks
know.
do. They
I used to wrestle.
I used to beat the buck out of him.
He
What
wasn't-
you doing?
He wasn't shit to me.
You didn't need that back in tough. Kate's like, okay.
You tell him I said he ain't tough.
You tell him that. Kate's like, okay.
Say to Danny boy.
Danny, what's up, homeboy?
And Kenny.
Kenny.
And Dale.
Tell your brother Dale I said, hey, Dale.
And what about his other brother, Dale?
Dale. Dale. I love you, buddy.
Buick GMC on one
Yeah.
side of the street, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side, man. This
Kane
has been
Jansen.
episode number 281. Subscribe to our YouTube. We're getting way more involvement on YouTube,
Yeah.
man. We appreciate that.
Check that
Subscribe
out.
to it. Give us a 5-star rating on the podcast app.
Yeah, that helps,
I
man.
want to see some reviews.
Yeah.
Let us
Message
know what
us.
you think, man. Reach out to us.
Follow us on our social media. We have Instagram to all that shit.
Yes.
Just type our names in.
Yeah.
Message us anytime. We'll get back
Yeah.
to you. Help us out with leaving comments and reviews and checking out YouTube and leaving a comment. Like we'll engage with all you guys, man. That helps us grow the brand too. So
Yes, it does.
love all you guys and girls.
Yes. And girls.
And girls.
Yeah,
There's a
make
lot.
sure. And they're all over me right
Well,
now.
I
just
love
so
Andy.
you know.
They love Andy.
They are reaching out left and right. We appreciate that. This has been episode 281.
Love you guys.
Baby. Peace.